only IT company the watchdog trusts. Omni offers IT managed services, cybersecurity and advisory solutions, backup and disaster recovery, and can handle all your hardware needs. If your business is faced with any technology challenges, the answer is simple. Call Omni Strategic Technologies at 304-242-7600 or visit them at www.omniperforms.com.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together we will get through this.
Frio Stack and Associates auctioneers, realtors, certified appraisers specializing in antiques, business liquidations, multi-parcel land auctions. Frio Stack and Associates is a regional business offering the executor, attorney, agent, and other individuals the most comprehensive and technologically advanced auction and appraisal services available. For information on our service, call our office at 304-233-3168 or email frioauc@aol.com. Frio Stack and Associates sells the earth and everything.
Just like they always do, Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands continues to serve the Ohio Valley. The Lube is still open for carryout and now offering their $10 meal deal every day of the week. Get one entree and one sidecar for just $10. Pick from steak, wings, ribs, and more. Call in or order online at thelube.com and follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their latest specials and promotions.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I love living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
The original Undo's in Benwood is the perfect place to enjoy the big game, great food, and the company around you. The outdoor patio is the best kept secret in Marshall County, featuring plenty of big screen HD TVs, an outdoor beer garden, and NFL and MLB packages so you don't miss a second of the action. With the holiday season fast approaching, don't forget about Undo's Catering. Perfect for holiday parties, family gatherings, conferences, weddings, or any event large or small. Check out undos.com for menus, specials, entertainment, and more. Undo's Family Restaurants, family owned since 1953.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
You really got me now. You got me side. Don't ever let me be. I only wanna be by your side. Please, don't ever let me be. I only wanna be by your side.
And welcome to the wonderful, wacky. Things are wacky this morning with some changes with football games. Thank you, COVID-19. I'm Bill DeFabio, across the way, Lola. We thank you all the time for listening, and hopefully that we can piece together some important information. Sometimes we give you useless information, and neither one of us are running for president, right? We're going to go right to the phone lines. We got a lot of guests coming up. I'll tell you about the changes coming up, especially with Steubenville now playing Martin's Ferry. Some time changes. But right now we got to go to, well, I don't know if he's in his house or at school, but Coach Young, how are you?
Doing well, Bill, and you?
I can't complain. Nobody cares, you know.
Great. Getting ready for another week of football, buddy.
Yep. As your friends in the coaching business say, we just want to play football. Now, I don't think there's been any changes with your game tomorrow, right? Although it's 6 o'clock on WVLY, on our sister station. You're traveling.
Correct.
You're traveling, and you're
We're
going to play
traveling.
Weird Madonna, right?
Correct. We're traveling up to Jim Carrey Stadium. We were up there a couple weeks ago. Kickoff tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, against Weird Madonna.
Okay, tell us a little bit about Madonna, please, because I know all about your squad. I think I do.
They have talent in the skilled positions. They have a good quarterback, good receivers. Their line gets off the ball, both offensively and defensively. They're aggressive. Coach Rivera's his first year back in the area. He was up in PA. Now he's at in Weirton, where he was at Big Red. Now he's at Madonna. Good coach, good person, a lot of energy. He'll get his kids playing hard.
All right. I know I mentioned that I know a little bit about your team, but I don't know about the health of your team. Are you pretty healthy on both sides of the ball?
We're still on the mend. We're getting some people back gradually, but surely. We're moving forward. Got good kids, and they're trying to get healthy and get back on the field.
Have you ever seen anything like what has taken place not only in high school sports, but everything around the world? You know, you're as old as I am, or maybe you're older than me, or maybe I'm older than you. We saw some tough times in the 60s, you know. We saw some tough times with threats from Russia and that. I thought that was it. But, this year it's like a little bit of everything, you know?
A lot of unknown, a lot of challenges to stay focused, to stay on course to what you're trying to do, and that is, like you said earlier, to play football games. The kids actually do a much better job transition-wise than we do because, we're set in our ways. We're set in what we're used to and what we want. And these kids, this is their first go-around, and they just want to play, and they're doing a great job. And credit to the kids because that's who's playing the game.
Are the kids going to class at Wheeling Central, or is it virtual or computer or whatever?
No. We're in school 5 days a week.
Okay.
We're taking all the precautions and following the protocol. We've had a couple of situations where we had some people that were tested positive, and we're taking those steps to rectify any connections there. And our administration is doing a fantastic job, along with our Gamble and the health department. So we're pleased with what we're doing, and knock on wood, we've been very fortunate, and we've been able to battle this. And it's tough because you don't want to shut down, you don't want to close up, you don't want kids at home all the time, but yet you got to take the proper procedures and keeping everybody safe and out of harm's way.
I know you have a great following. If your team played in Harrisburg, you'd probably have a couple of buses of boosters going with you. How many fans is Wheeling Central permitted tonight, Saturday night, at Weird Madonna?
I'm not really sure. I'd have to ask our athletic director. I know all the parents have an opportunity to get tickets,
okay.
And I think there are restrictions, but there's not that many that we can't still have a good following and have our Central family involved and cheering these kids on.
Okay, all right. Give me a key or two to a victory on the road to Saturday.
Well, we got to take away the explosive plays, and they're pretty good at it. They get off the ball well, they throw the ball well, they run the ball well. We got to take away their best plays, and they're going to try to do the same to us. But And then offensively, we've got to secure the ball and make use of every possession the best we can.
All right. Well, good luck, Coach. And I know all the coaches will say we're just happy to be playing football. And if you're playing football, I enjoy talking to the coaches every Friday as we've been doing the last 7 years. So good luck tomorrow night. We'll be there broadcasting the game. For those who are wondering about the time, it's 6 o'clock. All right, 6 o'clock on which one here? Wait a minute.
KKX.
WKKX. Okay. Is that one of the changes? No, it isn't. All right, Coach. Good luck.
Hey, you and Lo, take care. Thanks again. You guys do a fantastic job of recognizing these kids, and believe me, during this pandemic, it's much, much appreciated. And let's go Knights.
And once again, give your AD a pat on the back because that's got to be one of the toughest jobs in sports right now.
Very challenging.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, Bill. Do take care. God bless.
All right. Hey, folks, I got to tell you about my new favorite NFL bet this season, okay? I've been playing the same parlays on FanDuel Sportsbook, and it's the most fun I've ever had betting. By the way, I'm pretty sure yesterday I either said 43 or 44 total points scored in that awful game, Eagles and the Giants. Well, it happened to be a good game. You know, Philadelphia won by 1, 22-21. You know, I went from the debate to watching Chicago PD and watching MLB because there was a great interview with Charlie Morton, who's going to be pitching tonight for the Rays. Remember, he's another ex-Pirate in the World Series. And I think I said either total would be 43 or 44 points. Well, here's what I like about Sunday. Tennessee 5-0, Steelers 5-0. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Tennessee does not. By the way, we're going to have John Burton. He'll be at the game representing a Tennessee TV station, Channel 5, and we'll get his input on his thoughts about the game. All my media colleagues have the Steelers winning. I don't know. But if they can stop Derrick Henry, the great running back, I think they have a good chance of winning. And remember, the Titans have a great offense, but they have a couple of weak spots on that defense. And you know the way Ben Roethlisberger's playing with his wide receivers, a good offensive line, I think it's going to be one of those high-scoring games. I'm going to go 24-20 Steelers, okay? Might even go overtime. So there you go again, 44 total points. Maybe I'll get lucky. But that's my thoughts on Sunday games. You know, you have Monday games, Thursday games, Tuesday games, Sunday games. Why don't we just play every day, Roger Goodell? What's cool, too, about FanDuel, they'll refund the first same-game parlay that you lose on any NFL game each week up to $10. That means you can bet a different parlay risk-free every NFL week all season long. Like my pick, go ahead and bet them. You'll get $10 back if you don't win. There's one catch. FanDuel is the only sportsbook app that has the same game parlay bets. So if you don't already have a FanDuel account, just use promo code WKKX when you sign up so they know that we sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code WKKX, 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania and the beautiful state of West Virginia. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable site. Credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund, $10. Terms apply. If you got a gambling problem, especially in West Virginia, www.1800gambler.net. Let's see. We got a lot of...
Bill,
Yeah.
I made a mistake. Central is on VLY tomorrow at 6 o'clock because we have WVU on KKX. So,
All right, Central at Weirton, 6 o'clock, WVLY.
yep.
And for all we know, this could change, right? Okay, all right. Let's see. Should I do the sports and then go to Reno? Yeah, let me do the sports. Pittsburgh favored by a couple last night. Now I see that Tennessee's favored by 1. I don't know. I just want a good game. The Steelers lead this all-time series. Is that a 4, Bill, or a 6? I can't read my writing. 46-32. But I remember some great games before they were the Titans. They were called the Houston Oilers. Great games played at Three River Stadium between the Oilers and the Steelers, and the many trips to the Astrodome was wonderful. It was like watching a game in your living room. Of course, the secret to the Steelers winning, they got to stop that running back, Derrick Henry. So he's good. Also, the quarterback is very good. College football Saturday, Notre Dame at Pitt. Last time I looked, Notre Dame was favored by what, 10.5? West Virginia will visit Texas Tech. Kyle Wiggs will talk about that game. Penn State and Ohio State will finally play their first game. Yeah, it's been a while. Nittany Lions will take on Indiana. The Buckeyes will face Nebraska. Tonight it's Game 3 of the World Series, best of 7, tied at 1. One between the Rays and the Dodgers. How about two? Two Pittsburgh Pirates, catcher Jacob Stallings and infielder Adam Frazier. They are Gold Glove finalists. And a couple of no-nos in sports in the National Hockey League in 2020 and 21. No-no number 1, no All-Star game. No-no number 2, no Winter Classic. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I enjoyed the Winter Classic, playing at baseball stadiums and so on, outside, windy, cold. I especially liked that game in Buffalo years ago. It used to be one classic. Now they have 4 or 5 classics. Why? It's all about money. Lola, can we take a quick break? Then I'll get Reno on the line. That's one of our changes we have, and it's an interesting change. It's Reno coming down. I don't know if he's home or not, because I just found out before I got in that they're playing Martin's Ferry. Do you know if that's at Steubenville? He'll tell me.
Well, if he was hosting before,
I would imagine he'd be hosting Martin's Ferry. Huh? Yeah, okay. It's one of those, stay tuned, folks, because I had all this stuff about, I was going to ask him, where is Stowe, Monroe, Falls, or whatever? They're the Bulldogs. Now it's Martin Ferry and Steubenville. Okay, like I said, changes probably more coming, but hopefully we can stick to this game plan because it's a good one, because it's Friday. And anytime we can talk to Reno, it's a good thing. We'll be back right after this on The Watchdog.
Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
That's one set of rules for you.
That's not fair.
And a different set of rules for me.
State Senator Mike Maroney. He has a completely different set of rules for himself. In his first term, Mike Maroney missed more than 400 votes. Missed votes on taxes, roads, and protecting children from abuse. You paid Mike Maroney out of our tax dollars, and he didn't show up for work 400 times. And last year, Maroney was arrested for soliciting prostitution. Do you think you could keep your job if you didn't show up for work and were facing criminal charges? This election in Senate District 2, you can hold Mike Maroney accountable for his 400 missed votes and criminal charges. Whether you vote early or by mail or on Election Day, vote against politician Mike Maroney. Paid for by Mountain State Values, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I love living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam. Staring at the faces in a rearview mirror. Looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent.
All right, we're back. Maybe we should have let off the show with that song, Changes by David Bowie. John Marshall, Parkersburg, WVLY tonight at 7. Shadyside and East Knox on WKKX at 7, okay? All right, one of the changes, I walked in and Biff said, Your guy Reno made a change, and I guess who they playing? Ohio State? Just kidding, Reno. They'll be playing Martins Ferry and not Stowe Monroe Falls. When did all this take place? It had to be overnight or early last night, Coach.
Well, we lost the Stowe game about 7:30 last night, and I talked to our athletic director, and we just hooked up with Martins Ferry around 9 o'clock. Wow. Coach Yoder, I talked to him about 9 o'clock, and we made a film exchange around 10 o'clock, and we're breaking down film now.
All right. I hope I'm not not interrupting your schedule. I only use you for a few minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're always using me.
Well, that's okay. If you don't want me to use you, I'll just say, okay, Reno. Love you. Take care, man. No. Tell me a little bit about Martins Ferry.
Well, right now they have a multiple offense. A lot of shotgun, a lot of power off of it, a lot of little counter tray off of it, play action pass. But I think the play that they like the best is just anything inside the tackles.
Okay. All right. I always ask the coaches this. There's a lot of walking wounded, but they're still playing if it's not a serious injury. Are you pretty healthy with this game being played on your home turf?
Well, the guys that are in the game will be healthy. Some kids, after a loss, you have a heck of a lot more injuries than after a win. So, but there's a big difference between injured and hurt. So around the ninth game, everybody should be hurting a little bit, but the injuries can't play.
So let me get this straight, because I've never heard of anything like this, whether it be pros or college. You found out it's about 7 o'clock that your game with the Bulldogs was canceled, and then about 9 o'clock or so, you got a hold of Martins Ferry and made a deal to play. So then you exchanged film. Did you get any sleep?
Well, we'll get sleep when the season's over.
Okay. By the way, nobody likes to look ahead, but can we expect Reno to be playing again next week?
Nobody likes to look ahead.
Okay. Boy, that's coaches speak. All right. Give me one or two keys to a win at home tonight against Martins Ferry.
Just for us right now, we have to be able to play a base defense. We have to know we have to know our rules out of our defense, because we haven't had enough time to coach the kids up on what they like to do. So it's going to be very important that we read our keys, and very important that we just play fundamentally sound football. That's what's going to be the key tonight. Is we have to be fundamentally sound on defense, and on offense, run our offense, know your rules, know your blocking rules, and probably I think both teams will probably be as vanilla as ever.
I'm going to ask you a stupid question because I thought of it while you were talking. Hey, why not schedule the game for Saturday? That gives both teams a day to prepare, since everything was put together last night.
Well, there's sectional soccer games on Saturday. We wouldn't be able to get the field. We'd have to play at 10 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, so we just stuck with Friday. Okay. And it was the same for both teams.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least you got a game, so. Hey, good luck, Coach, in these difficult times.
I appreciate it.
I feel sorry for you being a head coach, because I know your head's
really,
spinning.
No, they're not difficult times. As a matter of fact, I think I'm enjoying this a little bit. Just it's something different, and see how well you adjust. And the team that adjusts the best is going to have the best shots of winning these next few weeks. And so tonight they're in the same shoes we are. So there's everything's equal.
No limit on the fans in attendance tonight, right?
Oh, yeah, there's limit. I think it's 1,500.
Okay, all right. Yeah. All right, Coach. By the way, Coach Young agreed with me when I said, hey, Coach, make sure you give your AD a pat on the back, because he must be going crazy 24/7 with all these changes.
Well, AD's my son-in-law, so I don't care what he does.
Okay, Rita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so he doesn't raise his voice at his wife. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Is he in charge of giving you a raise?
No.
Okay.
I don't want a raise.
Okay. All right.
All right, buddy.
Reno, always a pleasure. You're one of the all-time greats. Thank you.
All right. Give Lola a hug for us. I'll see you after a while.
All right.
Bye.
You want a hug, Lola?
I get a virtual hug from Reno. It's a virtual hug.
Oh no! I asked you if you needed a hug from me.
No, I can get a virtual hug from Reno.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
All right. That's cool stuff.
Yeah? Yeah.
Can you imagine you get a phone call 7 o'clock, you're not playing the team you're supposed to play, and then you make a phone call, and now you got a game, with Martins Ferry, and then about 10 o'clock, the coaches exchange films. Can you imagine? But as coaches will tell you, we just want to play football.
It's 2020. You can't expect any different.
Yeah, that's it. I gave you some of the schedule. Of course, I gave you the changes. We'll keep going over them and over them. As far as Saturday is concerned, it's homecoming at Texas Tech as they will host with the West Virginia Mountaineers. That's 5:30 tomorrow on WKKX. I guess Tech's going to have about 15,000 people in attendance. Well, that's the state of Texas, and Texas, they do whatever they want anyhow, but whatever. Wheeling Central at Weirton Madonna. Time change on that on WVLY, 6 p.m. The schedule was cool for Sunday. In the Battle of Ohio, the Cleveland Browns will visit the Cincinnati Bengals. That's at 4:25 tomorrow, Sunday afternoon on WKKX. What am I missing? Oh, Metro News Game Night tonight, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. All right, that's a must listen on WVLY, WKKX. You might be driving home from your favorite or not so favorite game or whatever, and you want to know about other scores. Tune in to WVLY, WKKX, okay? And that's cool. All right. Did you watch any of the game last night, Lola?
No, I watched the debate.
Well, that's the game I was talking about.
Oh.
What were your thoughts?
Yeah. I didn't learn anything new. It
Same with me.
certainly didn't. Well, I've already voted, so it really didn't make any difference. And,
Yeah, I went back and forth. I wanted to watch the tail end so I could get opinions, and they're completely different from CNN and Fox. And then I said to myself, when they showed clips of Trump and Biden going back and forth, I said, you know what? I just wasted my time. They didn't really tell me anything, I don't know. But we have, 12 now? They have hours and seconds. What do we have, 10 days?
11 days.
11 days?
Well, I don't know. 10 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Let me see.
Tuesday, November the 3rd, right around the corner. Right around the corner. Hard to believe. Then, of course, the day after, the entire country will be celebrating my birthday, right, Lola? November 4th? Yeah. Maybe I'll get one phone call. I don't know. Oh, that's a Wednesday, I think. I won't be here. All right. Yeah, I think I got everything covered. West Virginia, points, Notre Dame. Biff is excited about Notre Dame playing at Pitt, but I told Biff a couple of days ago, Pitt plays Notre Dame very, very well. A couple of times they've gone up and beaten Notre Dame when Notre Dame was a top 10 team. Now Notre Dame's, a top 5 team? Pitt has lost 3 in a row. They're looking for some revenge. That could take place. Could be upset time at Heinz Field. And if you're a Notre Dame fan and you spend a lot of money scalping or whatever to buy tickets, there's going to be about 5,500 fans at Heinz Field, okay? That does include about 800 band members and the Pitt cheerleading squad. So I'll be at the lower tunnel, I think, where the visiting team goes out, and I'll be able to hear people sing to Sweet Caroline, which, we couldn't do, although they played the song, which was really weird. It's just weird, period. I will watch tonight, Game 3 of the World Series, a former Pirate, Charlie Morton. I think one more win, and he'll tie, I forget who it was, Bob Gibson for most postseason wins. He was a guy that, he was very happy in Pittsburgh, a great clubhouse guy, and he, of course, was traded, and he gets paid, $17 million a year? Ask the Rays if he's worth it, and they'll say yes. He is lights out in the postseason. Struggles during the regular season, lights out during the postseason. Opposite of Clayton Kershaw, although he won the other day, and Clayton Kershaw is usually lights out during the regular season and bad postseason. I think it's going to go 7 games. All right? Okay. Steeler injuries, nothing important. Let's see. DeCastro and Pouncey back at work yesterday. Hilton, who I think is their smartest defensive back, may not play. I'll find out before I leave the air at 3 o'clock if he was at practice today. If he wasn't at practice, he will not be playing Sunday against the Tennessee Titans. I think I mentioned it earlier. The Steelers lead the all-time series, which involves the Houston Oilers. Then they became the Tennessee Titans, 46-32. And I may have mentioned it the other day. I loved the Oakland Raiders series in the 70s, but nothing compared to Bum Phillips, Dan Pastorini, okay, Kenny Stabler, and those Houston Oilers of the 70s. So, Bum Phillips, I still see him today holding our microphones, all right, because not everybody could get close to him, holding all of our microphones and talking about how the Steelers beat his Oilers at Three River Stadium in the AFC title game. I remember looking at Ed Bouchette. I said, can you believe this guy? He just got his butt kicked, and he's holding our microphones. I would throw him on the ground. But he was a cool guy. Bum Phillips. Only way to get to the Super Bowl, knocked the door down in Pittsburgh. And they couldn't do it 2 years in a row. But a lot of exciting games. I remember Gary Anderson kicking a game-winning field goal in overtime at the Astrodome. The crowd was very loud when the teams were tied, and they were very quiet as the ball went through the uprights. And they lifted Gary Anderson like he was a doll, throwing him around. That was pretty cool. We were on the sidelines, because back then we were allowed on the sidelines with 5 minutes to go. Before COVID-19, it was 2 minutes to go, and now everything is Zoom. We're not Zooming, are we, Lola?
No.
We're going to Zoom to the top of the hour.
We're not Zooming at all.
We're going to Zoom, well, I'm going to fly, I hope, to Knoxville, Tennessee, and my good friend John Burton, who will be covering the game, and he'll give us some insight on the Tennessee Titans. And I'll ask him, who's going to win?
Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
I'm Michelle Franzen. Americans are casting votes by the millions in early voting by mail and in person. It comes as new coronavirus cases are also on the rise in more than 40 states. Also, an increase in the number of people battling coronavirus that are ending up in hospital ICUs. With 11 days left to go in the campaign, candidates are also out in force, crisscrossing states. The president planning to hold rallies in the final stretch. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany telling reporters this morning that people won't vote if candidates don't fight for their vote.
We always provide masks. We encourage them to be worn. We have hand sanitizer available.
The president and Democratic nominee Joe Biden in last night's presidential debate clashing on issues that included the pandemic, the economy, and immigration. The president asked about the more than 500 migrant children separated at the border from their parents and reports that their parents cannot be found.
With families separated at the border, Trump and Biden pointing the finger at one another.
They built cages. You know, they used to say, I built the cages, and then it was determined they were built. In 2014, that was him.
We
changed.
did not
They built the cages. Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking
cages,
about.
Joe?
Let's talk about what we're talking about. What happened? Parents were ripped, their kids were ripped from their arms.
Andrew Dimber, ABC News, New York.
President Trump at the White House today announcing Sudan will begin normalizing ties with Israel, the third Arab state to do so as part of U.S. brokered deals.
Ultimately, Iran maybe will become a member of this whole thing. If you want to really know the truth, look, in the end, you're going to have everybody together with the United States.
The latest agreement follows the Trump administration's conditional deal earlier this week with Sudan to remove the North African nation from the list of state sponsors of terrorism, that if it pays compensation to American victims of terror attacks. You're listening to ABC News.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 833-8-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.125%, APR 3.43%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 833-8-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 2.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Starting tonight, Chicago under a renewed curfew after the city saw a spike in coronavirus cases.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is irritated with her city averaging 640 new coronavirus cases a day.
The increase is startling. It's really quite breathtaking. It's like we're back in the spring.
And Lightfoot issued the curfew.
All non-essential businesses will be closed to the public from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. All liquor sales will be closed as of 9 p.m. across the city.
Only essential businesses such as grocery stores, pharmacies, and takeout restaurants will be allowed to operate after 10 p.m. Todd Ant, ABC News.
Remarks by Pope Francis supporting same-sex civil unions, prompting some mixed reactions among Catholics. While some welcome those comments, some say the Pope's words don't constitute a change to Vatican law. Mark Malosha is executive director of the Conservative Family Policy Institute.
All Catholics know that church doctrine is official. It's done in encyclicals and in the catechism. And the Pope has repeatedly said, even in this interview, I heard this interview was a year old, is he's not changing church doctrine.
A new tech tool just in time for this holiday season. Google's shopping platform will not allow shoppers to know if they're getting the best deal possible. You'll also be able to track products and prices and receive an alert when bigger discounts are available. This is ABC News.
With so many new pet owners, Kezia's Grooming can't keep up.
Kezia's Grooming? Sorry, we'll book solid through the weekend. I can give you a call back, though, if something opens up.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Hey, add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. Hey, I could use the app. They've got great odds, unique bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive promos to let you get more action out of every single day. Right now, FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Just place a bet on any game, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. Hey, seriously, there's no strings attached. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in site credit. So you can take another shot at the end zone on the house. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, take it from me. What are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Be sure to sign up with the promo code WKKX so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code WKKX. You must be 21 plus and present in West Virginia. First online real money wager only. By the way, if you have a gambling problem, just visit 1-800-GAMBLER.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Frio Stack and Associates auctioneers, realtors, certified appraisers specializing in antiques, business liquidations, multi-parcel land auctions. Frio Stack and Associates is a regional business offering the executor, attorney, agent, and other individuals the most comprehensive and technologically advanced auction and appraisal services available. For information on our service, call our office at 304-233-3168 or email frioauc@aol.com. Frio Stack and Associates sells the earth and everything. The original Undo's in Benwood is the perfect place to enjoy the big game, great food, and the company around you. The outdoor patio is the best kept secret in Marshall County, featuring plenty of big screen HD TVs, an outdoor beer garden, and NFL and MLB packages so you don't miss a second of the action. With the holiday season fast approaching, don't forget about Undo's Catering. Perfect for holiday parties, family gatherings, conferences, weddings, or any event large or small. Check out undos.com for menus, specials, entertainment, and more. Undo's Family Restaurants, family owned since 1953.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Mostly sunny skies, a high near 80 degrees. Few clouds through the evening and the overnight, with temperatures down to about 47 degrees for the low. Mostly cloudy, widely scattered showers around for your Saturday, with highs in the mid-50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
I get up in the evening and I ain't got nothing to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired. Man, I'm just tired and bored with myself. Hey there, baby, I could use just a little help. You can't start a fire. You can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire. Even if we're just
And we're back. I got to tell you about my new favorite NFL bet this season. All right. I've been playing the same game parlays on FanDuel Sportsbook, and it's the most fun I've ever had betting. And it's pretty simple. All you have to do is combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. This way, the payouts are even bigger when you win. What's cool about this, FanDuel will refund the first same game parlay you lose on any NFL game each week up to $10. So that means you can bet a different parlay, risk-free, every NFL week all season long. And you know, it's football season. You got college football, Monday night football with the pros, Thursday night football with the pros. I think we've got a Tuesday night game. Why don't we just play football every day, right? You like my pick earlier? I have the Steelers beating the Titans 24-20. I think it might be even closer than that, but I'm going to ask my next guest. By the way, you can bet your house that my next guest is going to be an interesting one because he follows the Titans. He follows anything that's sports in the state of Tennessee. How about a nice welcome from my New York Yankee friend, John Burton. John, you like that intro?
What do you want, DeFabio? Why do you keep telling people that we're friends? We're not friends, man. What do you want?
Okay. Well, this is a guy I can't stand at all because he's a knucklehead. He's a jerk. He thinks he's something. He's nobody. I wouldn't want to go to the trenches with him because I'd probably get shot in the head. My good friend
That's
John
more
Burton.
like it. That's more like it. I like that. That's a better intro.
Hey.
I'm good, Billy. How are you?
Hey, I'm glad you stuck me in the middle with all these other guys in the Berg you're going to be on. I guess you were on earlier today.
My
Goodness. What radio station will you not be on today?
I was on, well, if I can give out the call letters.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was on DVE last night with Pursuta.
Oh, my
I'm gonna
God.
be on my old station station, 93.7 The Fan, 3 times today.
Oh,
I
my
was just
goodness.
on with Ron Cook.
Yeah.
I'm going on with Pony and Muller, and I'm going on with Paul Alexander later this evening. So
What
I'm,
about the other
I'm
Paul?
a hot commodity still in Pittsburgh. What?
Yeah, what about the other Paul, Zeiss? He's on in
I
the
was
evenings.
supposed to be on with him last night, but we couldn't make it work time-wise. But I would have been on with him.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's a great time to be talking about, and I think back in the 70s, I got to see a lot of Oakland Raiders, Steelers battles, fights and that. But I'll tell you what, the Houston Oilers and the Steelers put on some great shows. And then when the Oilers became the Titans, there was some great games. I know what the positive is about your offense. You got a great quarterback. What's he ranked? 3rd now in the NFL? Derrick Henry, unstoppable. But you know what? Henry's going up against a defense that doesn't give up a whole lot of yards.
Yeah, we saw what that defense did to Saquon Barkley in the opener on that Monday night game, and I've been saying it all week, Billy. Even without Devin Bush, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, that's 11 Terminators you're going up against.
I like
and they don't care about your feelings, and they cannot be bargained with, they cannot be reasoned with, and they will not stop until, from a football standpoint, you are dead. So that's going to be where this game is won and lost. Can the Steelers' offensive line open up some holes for Derrick Henry? Because as good as Ryan Tannehill has been, this offense centers around Derrick Henry. Titans are 16-0 when Derrick Henry rushes for over 100 yards. So that'll be the recipe. It's run the ball with Derrick Henry, and then Tannehill works play action off of that. And also, you look at some of the injuries. I know the Steelers are going to be without Devin Bush, but Titans are going to be without Taylor Lewan. He's out for the season with a knee injury, and their really super talented second-year wide receiver, A.J. Brown, practiced Wednesday, didn't practice Thursday. Not sure of his status today, so that could be an issue as well. And also their starting tight end, Jonnu Smith, left last Sunday's game against the Houston Texans with an ankle injury. He was limited Wednesday, did practice in full yesterday, but even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%.
And I don't know if Hilton is going to play. I'll probably get an update before the show ends, but he's one of the smartest guys in that defensive backfield for the Steelers. That could be a loss if he doesn't play. So now you lost your left tackle. He has Tannehill's back covered, right? How about his replacement? Is he capable at least doing something better than average?
Well, we'll see. Ty Sambrello is the backup, and listen, he's a guy they brought in as a free agent on a one-year deal for about $1 million, and he's a good football player, but he's not Taylor Lewan. Taylor Lewan's a 3-time Pro Bowler. At one point, he was the highest-paid left tackle in all of football, considered among the best, and more importantly, he has that mean, nasty demeanor to match the mean, nasty demeanor that the Steelers bring from a defensive perspective. So he's the kind of guy that sets the tone for that offensive line. So not only from a skill standpoint, but certainly a intangible aspect, he's going to be missed on that offensive line. And it'll be up to Ty Sambrello to protect Ryan Tannehill. They may give him some help over there. Maybe they'll shift with a back or a tight end. We'll see. But, I don't know who's going to line up over him, whether it's going to be Watt or Dupree, but he's going to have his hands full. That's for sure.
What if the Steelers get out to maybe a 10-0 lead? Should we worry about the Titans coming back with their offense?
They're capable, certainly. They've shown an ability to spread the ball out, and Tannehill, can go 4 or 5 wide and get in the shotgun with no back in the backfield, and he's got a lot of skill guys to throw to. We mentioned A.J. Brown, we mentioned Jonnu Smith. But again, these guys are a little bit banged up. Corey Davis, they could get back this week. So he's got some weapons to throw to. And Tannehill's shown a real ability to be calm and cool, and the ball gets out on time. And they do a lot of timing and rhythm routes with their passing offense. So, they're capable of coming back, certainly, if they have to almost exclusively go to the pass. They prefer, like I said, to control the clock, run the ball, keep the third downs manageable, because we all know that the Steelers defense loves to blitz. But, think about Tannehill. I know he's probably still lightly regarded by a lot of people from his days in Miami, but I'm not going to sit here and say he's a top 5 quarterback, but he's certainly been playing like one. He's 14-4. Titans are 14-4 since he took over as the starter, including playoffs.
I think he can't wait to get on that field. I'm sure Mike Vrabel would love to beat up on his old team.
Yeah, you know what, Braves is he doesn't really talk about that much. Obviously, yeah, he spent time with the Steelers, with the Patriots. He made first-team All-Pro from his days with the Kansas City Chiefs, but I'm sure there's a little part of him that would love to, to beat his old team, but it's not something he really harps on a little bit. He's very focused on what his team needs to do, and again, with some of these injuries and guys banged up that I mentioned, I think the focus is on, all right, what do we have to do to formulate a good enough game plan to get out of there with a win?
Yeah, every time I see him, and, they always focus in on the coaches on both sides of the sidelines, he comes off to me like he's some kind of tough guy. Is he? I know he can't beat you up.
Here's the thing about Mike Vrabel, from my opinion. I think he's a guy that wants you to think that he's just some big, tough, meathead guy, but he's very intelligent. He learned under Belichick. We've seen the way he's manipulated the clock and, taking penalties to preserve time on the clock and stuff like that. He's a very intelligent guy. He's a lot like Mike Tomlin. He's very organized. He's very, no stone unturned. He's very, they're a no-excuse outfit, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers are. He is highly intelligent. He's learned a lot. I mean, you look at where he's been, Ohio State, Pittsburgh Steelers, New England Patriots, and working and playing for the Kansas City Chiefs and learning under some of the best coaches in the history of football. So he's absorbed a lot. He's a very intelligent guy. He's tough when he needs to be, certainly with his players, but he's definitely a player's coach. His players love playing for him.
You have a couple of weaknesses on defense. Are they major weaknesses?
They can be. There's been a lack of a pass rush this year. The Titans are giving up an average of 272 yards a game passing. They were giving up an average of just over 5 yards a carry in the run game. They were relying heavily on their outside pass rush this year, and so far it hasn't been there. They signed Jadeveon Clowney right before the opener. A lot of people thought that would be a missing piece. He's batted down a couple of passes, but he hasn't gotten any sacks yet. They signed Vic Beasley from Atlanta for a year, hoping to bolster that outside pass rush. They bring back Harold Landry, who they drafted a couple of years ago. He had, I think, 7 sacks last year, but kind of tailed off towards the end of the season. And, for whatever reason, that pass rush hasn't been there, and getting off the field on third down has been a major problem for them. They blew out the Buffalo Bills a couple of weeks ago, but, the Bills were 13 for 17 on third downs, and, the Texans were 50% for the game on third down. So, lack of a pass rush and not getting off the field on third down has been a big issue for them. They've gotten a little bit better defending the run, but those other two issues are certainly still there for this Titans defense. And, Dean Pease was their defensive coordinator the last 2 years. He retired after last year, and Mike Vrabel decided, I'm not going to bring in, one defensive coordinator. It's kind of a combination of himself and his outside linebackers coach, Shane Bowen. And, I don't know if that dynamic is working right now. I always believe you got to have one guy to be your defensive coordinator, to set the game plan, to call the plays on game day. Maybe Mike Vrabel overestimated how effective the two-man dynamic can be in terms of calling the defense.
20 to 25 carries for Derek.
Titans are 16-0 lifetime when Derrick Henry goes over 100 yards, so that is going to be the key. If he can get to 100 yards, the Titans have a great shot to win. So, if it takes 25 or 30 carries, the thing about Derrick Henry is, the guy's an alien. I mean, he's in phenomenal shape. He can handle a heavy workload, carried the ball well over 300 times last year. He's on pace to do that, if not more, this year. So they're not worried about, quote-unquote, overusing Derrick Henry. The guy's in phenomenal physical shape. He takes pride in taking care of his body. He wants the heavy workload. He wants to be the bell cow back. And, in a game like this where it's going to be, you're going to have to fight for every inch, this is going to be a game where Derrick Henry is really going to have to earn his money for sure.
Well, I know you're in pretty good physical shape. You used to tell me that you can take on anybody, including David Ortiz. So, maybe you're his personal trainer. Is that true?
Well, I don't know about that. I know this. I can kick your ass, DeFabio.
Well, come on up. Come on up. I'll pay for your gas. You son of a gun. You haven't changed, and that's why I like you. Yeah. I hope your Yankees never win a World Series.
Well, we've already won 27, so we can take a break for a while. We're good.
Is it 27 or 28? 27?
27.
When was the last one? 2009?
Yeah, 2009, yep, with Girardi and A-Rod.
but you can't beat the Rays. What's wrong with you?
Oh man,
Are you-
they can't hit. You know, that's been their problem. People talk about people cheating, this, that, and the third. They pitch pretty well. They just can't hit.
Yeah, but you got all those sluggers making a lot of money. Man, come on.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Who are you rooting for in the World Series?
It's tough because, you know, being a Yankee fan, I've never really liked the Dodgers. Although I like Mookie Betts. He's a local guy here from Nashville. He's a great guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah. He's from Overton High School here in Nashville. And Walker Buehler, who's starting Game 3 tonight, he played at Vanderbilt. He's a great kid. You know, I mean, the Rays annoy me, and I've never really liked the Dodgers. So I guess the Dodgers I'm rooting for, but it's really I'm still bummed that the Yankees aren't in it. So it's hard for me to root for either team, quite frankly.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can save a trip from trying to come up north and trying to kick my butt because my good friend, and we're in contact all the time, Mr. Villanueva, number 78, he does my light work. So I'm going to tell him where you're going to be Sunday. You understand me?
Hey, yeah, absolutely. I'll be ready.
Okay.
I stay ready so I don't have to get ready, Billy. You know that.
Okay. I ain't no baker, but I smell a roll. Hey, can you give me a score, your thoughts on the game? Who's going to win, lose, points?
Sure. I like the Steelers, 23-20. I just feel like with the injuries that the Titans are dealing with and how they've struggled on defense, it's going to be a slight advantage for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's going to be a great game. Bare-knuckle fist fight for 60 minutes, but I think the Titans have been walking a kind of a wire. 4 of their 5 wins have been, you know, of the last second drive variety. You know, they had to go down the final seconds just to force overtime last week before they won it in OT, and I think at some point that's going to catch up to them. The good thing about this matchup, whoever loses, this is not a loser-leave-town match. Both teams are going to be in the mix for the AFC, but it's always great when 2 undefeated teams get together.
You turkey. About a half hour ago, I said 24-20 Steelers, and you say 23-20 Steelers. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but here's the difference. I know what I'm talking about. You just host a crappy radio show. Love you, Billy.
Lola, what do you think of this guy? We're friends. I got 2 young ladies want to take you on right now, okay?
All right.
You know, John.
Whatever it takes, man.
Oh, what are you, Chuck Noll now? That's one of his quotes. 1 game at a time, whatever it takes.
1 game at a time. Stay focused. Whatever it takes.
You were one of the cool guys, a character guy, and I always cherish our friendship, and I know you'll always be available, okay?
Thanks, Billy. I do not feel the same way, but nice of you to say nice things about me. I'm just kidding. Love you,
All
man.
right. Text your address to me so I can send you some Yankee yearbooks, okay?
Will do.
All
I
right.
will.
Thank you, JB.
All right. Be well.
Yeah. I remember we got in an argument in the Steeler locker room. The Steelers were late coming. This was years ago. And I think I wore my Red Sox cap. You know, he's not the tallest guy in the world, so he was looking up at me and said, "You know, your Red Sox suck." And I goes, "Oh, who do you like, the Yankees?" He goes, "Yeah, love the Yankees. You know, they kick butt." And I said, "Well, they haven't kicked butt lately, have they?" And we're going like nose to nose, teasing each other. And all of our colleagues are saying, "Hey, DeFabio and JB are going at it." You know, he's just one cool character. And I'm glad he got the big-time job he always wanted. I mean, he was big-time in Pittsburgh, weekends and whatever, at Channel 4, and he did a radio show on The Fan, but he got a nice gig at Channel 5. I think it's a CBS affiliate. Just a good guy. Good guy to have a beer or 2 or 3 with, okay? All right, he likes 23-20. I like 24-20. All right. Lola, what do you think? It's a big game. You may not watch it, but you'll know what the end results will be.
What do I think? Who's going to win?
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Titans win.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't like the Steelers, huh?
Truthfully, I'm ambivalent to both of them.
Okay.
It really, the only thing I'm concerned with are the Lions, of course.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
And 33. That's all. That's what I watch the scores for, is a 33.
Yeah, well,
for
let's
the
see.
49ers, and then I'd win some money.
Oh, it's all about money, eh?
Absolutely.
Atlanta, 2.5-point favorites over your Lions. The game will be played in Atlanta. I think Detroit can win.
See, and that's all right.
No, I'm serious.
Linda has Atlanta for the 33.
Okay.
So I just pay attention to basically the 49ers in Atlanta.
Okay, all right. How about this, Lola? If Detroit was in the awful NFC East, they'd be in first place with a 2-3 record.
No, we're in the black and blue division.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's always good.
Yeah, well, we should.
Except us.
Maybe we'll move them next year. I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough division. Biff's Chicago Bears 5-1. Green Bay Packers 5-1. Only 3 teams unbeaten. That's Seattle, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. That will change Sunday. You know, one of them has to lose. Somebody's got to lose a Tennessee-Pittsburgh game unless they play forever. That's a 1 o'clock game. Is your game with the Lions 1 o'clock?
Probably.
Yeah, Atlanta. In Atlanta. Yeah, that could be a good matchup. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pitt Panthers are in looking back. I remember this. It was crazy. I think I was at the game. Yeah, Pitt Stadium, 1988. Dan Marino passes for 521 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he threw the ball 5 times for interceptions. Miami lost to the Jets 44-30. Marino completes 35 of 60 passes as he produces the second best single-game total yardage in NFL history. And a Pitt great, another Pitt great on this date in 1976, Tony Dorsett rushed for 180 yards in a 45-0 rout over Navy to become the top career rusher in NCAA history with 5,200 yards. That's been changed. You know, I live on the campus of Washington and Jefferson College, and way back, and don't ask me if I covered the game, I wasn't even thought of back then, on this date in 1914, W&J upset Yale, ranked in the top 5, 16-7 at the Yale Bowl in New Haven, Connecticut. There's one more Steeler note. Not a good one. On his date in 1995, Steelers nose tackle Joel Steed suspended for 4 games after testing positive for steroids. All right, he was a pretty good nose tackle too. I think he was a Pro Bowler for 1 year. All right, that's looking back. All right, right now we're going to take a break, and let me look at my calendar. Coach Helenka of Shadyside will be with us. He'll talk about his opponent, unless that's changed in the last 12 hours, East Knox. All right, Helenka, DeFabio, Miller, and you, the great listener out there, we are the Watchdog.
Just like they always do, Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands continues to serve the Ohio Valley. The Lube is still open for carryout and now offering their $10 meal deal every day of the week. Get 1 entree and 1 sidecar for just $10. Pick from steak, wings, ribs, and more. Call in or order online at thelube.com. And follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their latest specials and promotions.
Now until sold out, get $10,000 off any new 2020 Cherokee. Only at Thomas Auto Centers during Jeep Adventure Days. Must be in stock, and it comes with a lifetime warranty. No tricks, no gimmicks. $10,000 off on any new 2020 Cherokee. Plus unheard of pricing on all new in-stock units. Only at Thomas Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Get the best deal. Thomas Auto Center.
Ball Road, St. Clairsville. For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Ohio Valley Medical Center was shut down by California-based Electo, who laid off 1,200 employees in Ohio County, while costing thousands more their access to health care. Where was Senator Ryan Weld? He was working as a lawyer for the law firm that represents Electo. Delegate Randy Schwartzmiller stood up for you. He called for an investigation into Electo. Randy Schwartzmiller will always fight for you and your health care. He's one of us.
Paid for by friends of Randy Schwartzmiller.
Island Pawnbrokers is now your local firearm dealer. In a pinch? Need cash quick? See us before going to the big box stores. Paying top dollar for firearms, gold, silver, tools, coins, and electronics. Don't lose your good credit. Let us give you instant cash. Stop by 2 North Broadway Street on Wheeling Island, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Island Pawnbrokers. Stop in for instant cash.
Hello, I'm Wheeling Fire Chief Larry Helms. As our city and region get back to business, it's extremely important to continue the following specific health guidelines to stop the spread of COVID-19. This virus is highly contagious and is more deadly than the flu. Please wear a mask or face covering in public, wash your hands more often, socially distance yourself as much as possible, And by following these guidelines, it potentially could
A
save.
lot of folks in the Ohio Valley are trying a new NFL bet on FanDuel Sportsbook. It's the same game parlays. They're pretty simple. All you have to do is combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. This way, the payouts are even bigger when you win. And what's cool is FanDuel will refund the first same game parlay you lose on any NFL game each week up to $10. That means you can bet a different parlay, risk-free, every NFL week all season long. Pick the games, pick the teams you feel most comfortable in betting. Place your bets, you get $10 back if you don't win. Now, there is a catch. FanDuel is the only sportsbook app that has the same game parlay bets. So if you don't already have a FanDuel account, download it now. Use my name and row in the promo code box when you sign up. You must be 21 or older. You must be physically present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. The refund is issued as a non-withdrawable site credit. It expires in 7 days. Maximum refund is $10. Terms do apply. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In West Virginia, you can visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. A domestic dispute between an elderly couple early this morning in Kanawha County results in one person injured and another dead. Kanawha County Sheriff Mike Rutherford said the 85-year-old woman shot and killed her 89-year-old husband in a domestic dispute.
The female and male had been in a domestic situation. The female had some injuries to her arms, and the investigation is continuing. We'll be working with the Kanawha County Prosecutor's Office to decide whether or not charges should be filed.
The names of the two have not been released. The state's 3% positive rate has jumped back above 3% in today's COVID-19 update. The positivity rate at 3.85 with 4,502 active cases. 4 additional deaths are also added to today's total, raising that total for the entire virus to 422. Those deaths include 3 men in Putnam County, ages 73, 95, and 83, and a 95-year-old Brooke County woman. U.S. Senator Joe Manchin says he will cast a no vote against the confirmation of Federal Appeals Court Judge Amy Coney Barrett next week when her confirmation to the U.S. Supreme Court comes before the Senate. But Senator Manchin says it will not be a vote against her, it's a vote against the process.
My vote is the process. My vote is the process, and I am not going to be part of setting a precedent. We're going to rule the day that we did this.
On Thursday, members of the Senate Judiciary Committee advanced her nomination on a 12-0 vote, with Democrats boycotting. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Kickoff 5:30 Saturday afternoon from Lubbock, Texas, between the Mountaineers and Texas Tech. Metro News' Tony Caridi says West Virginia's got to be ready.
This will be an interesting challenge here. This is a defense that forces a lot of turnovers. They'll come at you very aggressively in passing situations.
Metro News game day coverage tomorrow afternoon at 2. The game will be televised on ESPN2. Marshall takes on Florida Atlantic tomorrow. Kickoff at 2:30 at Jones C. Edwards Stadium in Huntington. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Listen to the latest breaking news, traffic, and weather updates, and more with WTRF Live. Weekday mornings beginning at 6 a.m. Only on The Watchdog.
We've had some fun. Yes, we've had our ups and downs. Been down that rocky road. But here we are still around. We thought about someone else. But neither one could today. We thought about breaking up. Now we know it's much too late. We are bound by all the rest. Like the same.
And we're back. We've got Coach Holinka on the air. I was asked by a certain individual that he knows to call him Mape, and I just asked him, is it okay if I called you Mape? What's that mean? Well, I guess you were called, what, Maple a long time ago? Like after the
Mapo.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then as you got older, it's Mape.
Yeah.
Now, do people in Shadyside go, yo, Mape? They don't do that, do they?
They probably put some other things before it.
Well, yeah.
Depends on what night you're talking to me.
Yeah, okay, all right. You're probably one of the most popular figures in Shadyside, not named Janie the wine lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Janie's popular on Saturday night.
Yeah, if you see her, tell her to call me at the station. I haven't heard from her in a long time, and I get concerned, but I know she's real busy, so.
Yeah.
All right.
On the weekend.
And you're going to be busy. You play East Knox. They're the Bulldogs. Now, explain to me, I would probably get lost. They're somewhere in Ohio, but I got a GPS. How would I find East Knox?
Well, you ever been to Danville? No?
Danville? No.
Okay, it's right next to it. It'll be like Blair and Shadyside. You can go up towards, like you're going to New Philly.
Okay.
Go to Cambridge and up to New Philly, or actually like you would exit to go to Indian Valley and just go the opposite direction like you're going to Newcomerstown and get on 36. Oh. And then I think you can follow that to the west, and you can be there from that point probably in about probably 50 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay, all right. Is, I want to say Fort Knox. Is East Knox bigger than Shadyside or smaller?
You know, the community it's in, I heard it's really small. Howard, you know, I've gone through it. They said it's actually smaller than Shadyside, but you know, I don't know if that's the main town or where all they draw the students from.
Okay. It's amazing what's going on. We've already had like 3 or 4 changes, and you know, Reno, as I told you before we went on the air, you know, it was like a last-minute thing with Martin's Ferry. They exchanged film like at 10 o'clock at night, so you know he hasn't gotten any sleep, and I'm sure the ferry coaches haven't been sleeping well, but. As Reno said, we just want to play football. So.
Yeah, well, I give Ferry credit for stepping up and going to the plate, and that should be a fun game.
Yeah. And you know, when Reno steps up to the plate, he likes to hit a home run. You know.
Yeah, pretty often he does, but yeah.
Well, we won't talk about his record this year, but anyhow, you have the Bulldogs. I know nothing about them. Now that you've told me where East Knox is located, tell me about their team when they have the football and defense.
Oh, well, when they're on defense, they're a 35 team, an odd front, or they'll jump into a 52 look, and sort of like W and them teams kind of develop a 30-stack look. And offensively, they like to spread the ball out there. There's kind of like 4 wides, trips, 3 and 1, you know, and sometimes they even go empty. But they'll get in and play smash mouth a little bit when they have to.
Have you ever played them before?
I don't think so. No,
okay.
We played Danville a few times. They're a neighboring school, and I've heard that they're drawing a lot of kids off of Danville now. So I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't know. I don't know what's happened with Danville and if they're losing some of their students to East Knox. But that's what kind of propelled East Knox now. Someone told me.
From the buses that leave your stadium or the school, what is it, about an hour drive?
No, 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay. So you'll be leaving soon, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Are you pretty healthy, Coach? I know you got a lot of bumps and bruises like everybody else, but are you pretty healthy?
We're healthier than we were last week. Are we totally good? No, but like you said, the bump and bruises, you got to try to play through them now. We got some people not 100%, but they're going. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll see how we go.
All right. Okay. I won't ask you about the possibility of playing next week because coaches don't know what they're going to do tomorrow, let alone next week. But give me a key or two to beating the Bulldogs on their home turf.
And that's the sad thing because it's a grass field, and we're going to be heading west, Bill, and so we'll hit the rain before it would come to Eastern High part here. So we're probably going to play in a rain game as opposed to the schools back here probably possibly getting their games in. With that said, on the grass field, we got to make sure that again turnovers are going to come into play, how muddy the field's going to be, but we got to play with a little more conscientious penalties. We got to eliminate penalties. If we can eliminate penalties and then play with emotion and, win the turnover battle, then I think we got a shot. If we don't, then we're going to find out what it's like to come back against a good team, and usually the outcome's not real good.
Has it been a burden with the kids, emotionally, physically, with everything that's been happening with cancellation of games? You don't know if you're going to play, COVID-19. What kind of a season has it been? Because it's nothing like normal.
Yeah, I mean, that started in summer. You're going through all the preseason practices, and you really don't even know if it's going to come to fruition, if you're just doing it and going to say goodbye to everybody and walk away. So it started back then. Luckily for us, we got to play our season. We didn't have any cancellation as far as the 6 teams in the high that we were scheduled to play after we adjusted our schedule. We've been lucky up to this point, and hopefully we don't have to pick up a game next week. We can go with the state's already got picked for us.
Are you allowed a certain amount of fans on the road tonight?
I think it's whatever they send down to you. I don't know if they sent down maybe somewhere between around 150 tickets. So you divvy them up again with your athletes and with your cheerleaders and things like, with all the family, certain seniors get a little more than the juniors, and before they're all gone, there's really not much for the public at all, I don't think.
Okay, well, when the season's over, I'm going to travel to Shadyside again, and we're going to have a couple of brewskis at the Tiger Pub.
All right, buddy. All right, I'll look forward to that.
No,
I hope it's a while yet, okay?
How about in 5 weeks?
That sounds good.
You like that?
That'd be great.
Then maybe if I talk to her, the wine lady, Janie, can join us.
Whatever you can serve up with her.
Yeah, she said she owes me one, so.
Yeah, you use your charm. You can get her there, I think.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll get a discount on water and napkins, That was a great burger. I tell people about the burger. I'm a burger guy, and I like a great burger. And I'll tell you what, and their French fries, I don't know what they put in it, but it's not your typical French fry. You know what I mean?
That's called grease.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of grease. Believe me, you squeeze me, it comes pouring out. You know what? Hey, have a safe trip, and come back with a W, and hopefully we'll talk next week.
All right, Bill. Take care. See you later.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye.
Mapo, yeah. I was telling the coach about Mapo commercials. They were done back in the 50s with Mickey Mantle, okay? I don't know if I've ever had Mapo. I think a few years.
I love maple, and you can't.
You can't find it, can you?
Find it anywhere around here.
Yeah.
I've heard that sometimes Respect has it, but I've checked. But I got on Amazon. But you have to buy more than one, and I don't want it to go bad. So.
Is it like cream of wheat or Mother's Oats or anything like that?
It's oatmeal with maple flavoring.
Oh, okay.
So I make my own. I just use maple flavoring and brown sugar and make oatmeal with, or you can. I've used syrup too, maple syrup.
Maybe I did try a long, long time ago, but I remember Mickey Mantle sitting at the table with a little kid. I want my Mapo. Then he turns around and he does cigarette commercials. Okay, I have these DVDs, the best commercials. I have 2 sets. Why 2? Well, one set has 63 commercials. They're all black and white. The other one has like 120 commercials, all in color. So, but I was amazed. John Wayne would do commercials along with who was the guy that played the Thing? Oh, he was Marshall Dillon. James Arnaz. Both of them would be like on the set, puffing away, talking about cigarettes. I think it was Lucky Strikes, okay? But back then, every other commercial, today it's all drugs. This drug's good for you, this drug, you read the fine print and all that, it's not good for your liver, whatever. But way back when in the 50s, especially with the Westerns, there were a ton of like cigarette commercials and stuff, Marlboro with the Magnificent Seven theme, dun, 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 dun. Was that the 50s and 60s, Lola? Because I think they cut it out in the 70s, didn't they?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, okay. In the 50s and 60s, you didn't have that little thing on a pack of cigarettes. What did it say? Maybe bad for your health or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Surgeon General.
Surgeon General, there you go. All right. By the way, there's football tonight, high school football, right? But there's also college football. North Carolina State of Virginia. That's not right. Oh, that's women's volleyball. Sorry about that. That's all volleyball. I thought it was. Here we go. There's a reason I got it circled. Tulsa, South Florida. That'll be a good game. Wisconsin hosting Illinois. It's good to see the Big Ten back in action. And Louisiana University at UAB. That's pretty good, too. That's on CBS Sports Net. I don't know if I get that. You get that, Lola? There's so many sports channels, you know? It's just unbelievable. But, you know, most of you get the Watchdog, WVLY, WKKX, Metro News Game Night tonight, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, all right? And we have John Marshall at Parkersburg, WVLY, at 7 o'clock. Shady Side will be playing East Knox, which is 2 hours away from Shady Side, according to the coach. That's going to be on WKKX at 7 o'clock. And if you've just tuned in, we had a change. Wheeling Central at Weirton Madonna, 6 o'clock tomorrow on WVLY. WVU, that's right, we're the radio voice, Ohio Valley, West Virginia Mountaineers. They will play at Texas Tech at 5:30 on WKKX, all right? And Sunday, no changes there. It's not a 1 o'clock game. I wonder if it's a national game. Why would Cleveland at Cincinnati be a national game? It's at 4:25 on WKKX. When Kyle Wiggs joins us, I think he's shopping again at 2:20. I'm going to ask him about Tech. I guess they're going to allow 15 to 16,000 people. It's homecoming, but yet West Virginia's favorite. Texas Tech, awful team. Awful team. How many times we say that and they turn around and win? All right? But West Virginia struggles on the road, so this is a road game, so maybe they'll bring their A game, but we'll have that game for you on the radio. And I think I covered this day in sports. What a great day that was for Dan Marino, and he loses. Those 5 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, completed 35 of 60. One of the all-time greats as far as single-game total yardage in NFL history. And his Dolphins lose to the Jets 44-30. At one time, the Jets were a pretty good team back in the 80s. Now they basically, I'll be nice, stink, okay? All right, more conversation coming up. We expect a call from the Steeler headquarters from Ray Fittipaldo. We'll see if Mike Hilton, a pretty good defensive back, practiced today. If Mr. Hilton was on the sidelines today, he will not dress for Sunday's encounter with Tennessee. And then coming up in the 2 o'clock hour, Brett McClain from St. Clairsville will be on the air with us. St. Clairsville at home tonight hosting Warren, all right? Then at 2:20, Cal Wiggs from Morgantown. He'll be talking about the West Virginia Mountaineers at Texas Tech. And the legend will be joining us at 2:35. Tell you what, Lola, can we take a break? And I'll try and get a hold of Ray right after we take this break, all right?
Ohio Valley Medical Center was shut down by California-based Electo, who laid off 1,200 employees in Ohio County while costing thousands more their access to health care. Where was Senator Ryan Weld? He was working as a lawyer for the law firm that represents Electo. Delegate Randy Schwartzmiller stood up for you. He called for an investigation into Electo. Randy Schwartzmiller will always fight for you and your health care. He's one of us.
Paid for by friends of Randy Schwartzmiller.
Island Pawnbrokers is now your local firearm dealer. In a pinch? Need cash quick? See us before going to the big box stores. Paying top dollar for firearms, gold, silver, tools, coins, and electronics. Don't lose your good credit. Let us give you instant cash. Stop by 2 North Broadway Street on Wheeling Island, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Island Pawnbrokers. Stop in for instant cash.
Hello, I'm Wheeling Fire Chief Larry Helms. As our city and region get back to business, it's extremely important to continue the following specific health guidelines to stop the spread of COVID-19. This virus is highly contagious and is more deadly than the flu. Please wear a mask or face covering in public, wash your hands more often, socially distance yourself as much as possible, and by following these guidelines, it potentially could save your life.
She didn't care, but anyway, I told her we'd still be friends, and she didn't care, but anyway, I tried last week. week for to go when she wasn't home. But anyway, I think I'll spend my life alone. I really don't care right now. But anyway, the state of affairs and the state of emotion, the kind of thing that you must understand. I'll tell you one thing, you tell me another, we walk away, maybe then shake hands.
And we're back. Before we hit the top of the hour, I just made a note. Fabio, never schedule two Yankee fans on the same day. Earlier we had John Burton on. He's a big-time Yankee fan. And now we got Ray Fittipaldo. He's a big Yankee fan. Not as big as his son. There are too many Yankee fans out there, Ray.
I know, Bill. My son converted me. I was a Pirates fan all those years, but...
Wait a minute.
you know
Your
how
son
it goes.
told you to go with the Yankees, and you grew up with the Pirates?
He showed me the light. He showed me the light. He was like, the Pirates don't spend any money. Why do you root for them? And I was like, you know what? You're right. You root for whoever you want.
Yeah. The
You wanna be
Yankees,
a Yankee fan?
Ray,
Be a Yankee fan.
Ray, the Yankees spend a lot of money. What have they done lately? Nothing. They couldn't even beat a team with a $28 million payroll.
That is true. You got me there.
Garrett Cole makes more in 5 games in the whole total Rays payroll. Give me a break. Well, you should be a Yankee fan tonight. I mean, a Pirate fan tonight, because Charlie Morton, how old is he? 104? Yeah, he's going to be on the mound for the Rays. And you're not rooting for the Rays, right?
My son is actually, he is actually rooting for the Dodgers because the Rays knocked the Yankees out. So, yes, we are Dodgers fans tonight.
A win tonight by, I just lost my note, by Morton, okay? He have a chance to tie Orlando Hernandez's record of 8 consecutive winning postseason decisions. This is according to Elias Sports Bureau, and sometimes they make mistakes, but not this one. And if he beats the Dodgers and wins again next start, which he might in Game 7, if there is a Game 7, he would move within 1 of Bob Gibson's record. Is that unbelievable?
That is, and I mean, Bill, I mean, you know it. He was like, what, a number 4 starter here?
Yep.
And he never really found his traction here, but God bless him. A lot of former Pirates pitchers are finding newfound success in different places, and you know he's certainly one of them.
Okay, you know, I got to ask you, I would be concerned if Mr. Hilton wasn't in that defensive secondary, because I think he's the smartest guy back there. He knows the game. He's taught himself very well. He's a good listener, and he's just one of the better smart guys playing the game. Did he practice today?
He did not, Bill, and he has been rolled out already for the Titans game, along with fullback Derek Watt. So it's a tough loss. He plays 75% of the defensive snaps as the slot corner. This week they're going to go with Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton will shift into that slot corner, and then look for Justin Lane and maybe Marcus Allen to get some playing time in some sub packages. But I would expect mostly Justin Lane when they go to the dime. So a couple of new guys will be getting some more opportunities this week now that Mike Hilton has been ruled out.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, in Tennessee, they're talking about how big this game is, and, I think they're trying to sell Super Bowl tickets. But I had John Burton on, and he agrees that's a great offense, but, that defense has some weaknesses. So, if the Steelers get out to a good start, go down the field a couple of times, I don't know if the Titans can come back, although they've shown that they have that resiliency because it's been proven not only this year but last year.
Yeah, one more thing about the injuries, talking about the Steelers' offense and what they might be able to do against that Titans defense. David DeCastro is good to go. He had an abdominal injury, missed last week's game against the Browns. He'll be back in the starting lineup. And so will Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson missed most of the past 2 games with a back injury. He's also good to go. So, you talk about a vulnerable Titans defense. The Steelers just got 2 offensive starters back, so that certainly bodes well as well.
I like watching Derrick Henry, and I think he's a super back. Maybe, right now the best. But, if he gets 20 to 25 snaps, he's going to go against the Steeler defense. Okay, who was it? Sanders got 74 yards on one play. But other than that, the Steelers have just been very tight. real tight as far as the running game. I just don't see Derek gaining a lot of yardage, although Burton told me that every time he goes over 100 yards, he's 16-1. That's an unbelievable stat. The team is 16-1.
That is a key stat. And, Bill, they've also had success when he's been held under 100 yards. The Bills held him to 75. They won that game 42-16. The Jaguars also held him to, I think it was around 75 yards, and they won that game 33-30. So they've been able to score points, whether Derrick Henry is held in check or not. I know that's the focal point of the Steelers' defensive game plan this week, as it is every week. But this week you also have to worry about Ryan Tannehill. He's no Baker Mayfield. He's not gonna disappear when things get tough. Tannehill has 13 touchdowns and only 2 picks through the first 5 games of the season, Bill. He is playing as well as anyone in the NFL right now.
Okay, before I say goodbye and have a good evening and a good weekend, who do you like?
Bill, I like the Titans. Going on the road for the Steelers, they haven't done that in a month or more since that opener against the Giants. Titans are really good, so I'm picking the Titans. High-scoring game, 33 Steelers, 23.
Okay, 33 Titans, right?
33, yeah, Titans 33, Steelers 23.
For a total of 56. Okay, and you know who has the week off, a bye week, and they'll be rooting for Tennessee, that team called the Ravens.
Lucky them, right? They get to sit back, kick back on the couch, watch some football this week, lick their wounds. So, Bill, we knew this was going to happen with COVID, but really a bad break for the Steelers.
Yep.
Not only do you have to play the Ravens and Titans back to back, but you got to play the Ravens coming off a bye.
Yep. All right. Hey, we'll talk to you Monday, all right, as we recap hopefully it'll be a fine Sunday afternoon. I don't care if it's a blowout or whatever. I just want to see a good football game, okay?
All right, Bill. Talk to you on Monday.
All right. I should ask him if he ever had Mapo. I'm trying to think how old. Oh, he's a lot younger than me. Yeah. Maybe he can find some Mapo. Why was that hard to get, Lola? Because it's just people don't request it or what? Maybe only make a certain supply of it?
Yeah, probably. It's supply and demand. If people don't ask for it, then why make it?
Yeah.
Then you're sitting on a bunch of it.
Yeah. Okay. And in order for you to get you have to buy what, 2 boxes?
You got to buy 3. They come in 3 packs.
Oh, okay. Well, next time you order, I'll buy one, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
I haven't ordered any.
What do you get, at Amazon.com or?
Huh?
You get it on Amazon.com?
Yeah, that's what I get it on is Amazon.
All right. Yeah, keep me in mind if you, well, I don't know if I want to buy 2, because I'll buy 1. I'll buy a couple of them. All right, we're going to take a break and come back with Brett McClain, Mr. Wiggs in Morgantown, and the legend, all that and more on Football Friday. Hopefully, for the listener, we've been informative for you. I'm not saying that 10 times. And we learned a little bit about Mapo. Oh, man, I could use some right now. Right now, I could use a break.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Lotions. President Trump heads to Florida later today with campaign events planned in The Villages. The retirement community north of Orlando is the largest in the country. President Trump trying to shore up support with seniors in an area he won in 2016. Democratic VP candidate Kamala Harris in Atlanta, Georgia today, a possible swing state, talking about the pandemic.
We're here to talk about what Joe and I are prepared to do. We have a plan that's about national testing, contact tracing. We have a plan that's about supporting small businesses and supporting working families. And the American people deserve to have a president who actually has a plan that's about saving lives, saving businesses, and helping our economy.
Coronavirus cases on the rise now in more than 40 states, including rural areas. Other hard-hit states now stepping up to help.
In Washington state, they're getting ready in case they have to deal with an influx of COVID-19 patients from Idaho. Like other rural areas, Idaho is experiencing a rise in cases. Its hospitals are reporting in that they and nearby hospitals in Spokane are nearly full. Overall, though, the Washington State Hospital Association says it has capacity to handle a crush.
We're about 300 COVID positive patients in the hospital right now.
One Idaho hospital system is pleading with people in that state to wear masks.
ABC's Alex Stone. You're listening to ABC News.
Introducing Canada Dry Bold Ginger. It's not your grandma's ginger ale. I know because I'm not your grandma. I don't pressure you to get married. I say play the field all you want. And I drink new Canada Dry Bold Ginger with an extra kick of real ginger taste that would blow the bingo cards out your grandma's bag. I drink it while watching backyard wrestling. There's more on the line when the wrestlers don't have insurance. New Canada Dry Bold Ginger, not your grandma's ginger ale.
If the new Oral-B IO electric toothbrush had a theme song, this would be it.
I think you're gonna wanna see this.
Oh, you're gonna want to see it, all right. Only IO technology combines Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head with gentle micro vibrations for a clean that'll
Make you say wow.
Exactly. Get the wow of a professional clean feel every day with the new Oral-B IO.
You're gonna see what everybody's talking about.
Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
New revelations in the case against Ghislaine Maxwell. A judge unsealing more than 400 pages of transcripts from a 2016 deposition. In it, she repeatedly denies recruiting girls for her longtime associate, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
The redacted transcript stems from a 2015 defamation case brought by Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who in court filings accuses Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein of directing her to have sex with prominent men, including Prince Andrew, when she was a minor. In the deposition, Maxwell repeatedly claims Giuffre is lying about her.
ABC's Adrian Bankert. Despite the coronavirus pandemic, the White House moving ahead with a holiday tradition.
This weekend, it's Halloween at the White House. As in years past, President Trump and the First Lady will greet trick-or-treaters as they pass by the South Portico. Invited guests include frontline workers, military families, and school children. The First Lady's office says this year's Halloween event will have a nature theme. Pumpkins, fall flowers, and leaves adorning the columns and staircases on the south side of the White House. Safety measures include social distancing and hand sanitizer. All attendees over the age of 2 must wear a face covering. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
It is Game 3 of the World Series tonight. The Los Angeles Dodgers take on the Tampa Bay Rays in Arlington, Texas. There's a bubble for players and coaches. Some fans will be allowed to attend. The series now tied 1 game apiece. This is ABC News.
I'm Dr. Stork. Today, stronger immunity and better nutrition are more important than ever. That's why Eggland's Best gives you and your family more. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, all helping you maintain a strong immune system and better overall health. Plus, you get all that farm-fresh, delicious taste. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Hey, add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. Hey, I could use the app. They've got great odds, unique bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive promos to let you get more action out of every single day. Right now, FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Just place a bet on any game, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. Hey, seriously, there's no strings attached. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in site credit. So you can take another shot at the end zone on the house. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, take it from me. What are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Be sure to sign up with the promo code WKKX so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code WKKX. You must be 21, plus and present in West Virginia. First online real money wager only. By the way, if you have a gambling problem, just visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
The United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley is very proud of those that have jumped into action, helping the community through the restrictions in place due to COVID-19. All year long, we connect community-minded businesses and people to agencies serving the toughest needs. Now we have a Community Response and Recovery Fund to assist agencies in helping families in crisis due to this pandemic. 100% of your donations will stay local. You can donate at unitedwayuov.org/.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Mostly sunny skies, a high near 80 degrees. Few clouds through the evening and the overnight, with temperatures down to about 47 degrees for the low. Mostly cloudy, widely scattered showers around for your Saturday, with highs in the mid-50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Way back in the late 70s, there was an interesting movie on gangs in New York called The Warriors. And there's a great line in there when some of the bad guys were going after the good guys. They were all gangs, and you could hear the one guy in a car with the bottles, "Warriors, come out and play, yay, yay, yay." Well, tonight the Warriors will come out and play. The Warriors out of Warren will be visiting St. Clairsville. So that means we got to talk to Brett McClain, the head coach, as he prepares his team for a home encounter. Do you remember the movie, Coach?
You got a lot of things going through my mind. I guess I'm too young to remember the movie, but I'm gonna have to rent it and watch it now.
It's a great flick. It's a great flick.
Hey, before you go further, I don't want everybody to show up at the stadium tonight because we don't play till Saturday night. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do I have that change?
You got me a nervous wreck now, Bill.
Well, you know, it's when I got in here, there was like 2 or 3 different dates and stuff, and we had to play switcheroo with some of the broadcast games. So, yeah, okay. Yeah. I shook you up, huh?
You shook me up. I thought maybe I had slept in too long today. It was actually Saturday, but no, we're hosting the Warriors in playoff action Saturday night. So
7 o'clock?
Yeah, 7 o'clock kickoff, and got one more practice here to get in about a half an hour.
Okay, well, I'm glad you can always make sure you have time for the Watchdog so we can keep our listenership aware of what's happening with St. Clairsville football. And so far, it's been a great year, right? Despite everything that's been happening.
Yeah, we've had some success to this point. As much as you can have, we've had 7 games and found a way to win each one. So, we're just looking forward to playing again tomorrow night. And if I could fast forward the clock to 7 p.m., I would. It's just, every week has been one anxiety attack after the other, worrying about staying healthy, our opponents staying healthy, and getting the opportunity to play. And obviously, we're extremely thankful we've got to play as many as we have to this point.
Yeah, the kids get used to Friday night lights, and now it's going to be Saturday night lights, and sometimes they don't know if they're going to play. As a case with Steubenville, they're ready to play a team, then all of a sudden Reno gets the call last night, no game, so he's working the phones, and he got a match up with Martins Ferry. Nothing's normal anymore, and hopefully 2021 will be even better football-wise. I don't know what the hell's going to happen when basketball starts, but you're going to tell me a little bit about the Warriors. Are you familiar with the team at all? Have you played them in the past? What's the history between the two schools?
No, and to my knowledge, I think this may be the first meeting of the two schools. Someone will have to fact check me on that, like the presidential debate, but it's
okay.
It's a tough matchup. I mean, they're an OVAC school. They're a 5A team in the OVAC, but in the same division here in Ohio. Warren has a tradition. They've had some great teams in the past, and then they've put together a great coaching staff here, and have a good group of kids. They're very, very athletic. Really revolves around their quarterback. He's a dual threat kid, throws the ball extremely well. And then plays stout defense. So they're an OVAC opponent that's new. They just rejoined the OVAC not long ago. It's the first time we've hooked up in my coaching time here at St. Clairsville. So we know they're a very good team. We've got some film on them playing some other quality teams. They beat a John Glenn team last week in double overtime, and that same John Glenn team ended our season a year ago in the playoffs. So we know they're a very formidable opponent.
It sounds like they're pretty good and very competitive on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely, and they showed a lot of character last week. They played from behind most of the game and tied the game late, took it into double overtime, and really took control in the double overtime period and got the victory. So they got a lot of character, a lot of stamina. They play a lot of kids one way, not like a lot of teams who have to play everyone 2 and 3 ways. They got enough steam, enough kids that they can play them one way, which keeps them fresh.
What's their record, Coach? I'm too lazy to go down the hall and look it up.
They're 7-1, and their lone loss came to Fort Fry, who I honestly think has a legitimate shot to compete to win a state championship in their division here in Ohio. We know Fort Fry is an extremely good program, and that's a huge rivalry game for them. That was early in the year. I believe it was 27-20, so it was a real close game.
All right. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Fort Fry, and this could be the year that they win it all. So, but that's their only loss, right?
Yes, that's their only loss, and it happened many moons ago. So I know they're a different team than they were then, and we're not Fort Fry.
No, okay. But you're 7-0.
We are 7-0. We found a way to win last week. I told you Highland was going to be an extremely competitive team.
Yes, you did.
That's the way it rolled out. We were fortunate to pull away in the fourth quarter and get ourselves really 3 scores ahead with 17 points. But it took 4 quarters to do that, and a lot of big plays made by our kids.
Well, I'm sure there's an adjustment period. Kids look forward to after one game on Friday night. Well, who are we going to play next Friday night now? Maybe the extra day off will help. Are you banged up at all?
You know, we got pretty healthy. We had a bye week. That's why we only have played 7 games during that bye week. We had some nicks and minor injuries that kids were able to recuperate from, and you know that we were excited when we played last week. We started fast, which was one of the first times we've done that all year. Of course, we had that bye week and 15 days of practice to talk about that and tell our kids we needed to be ready to go when the game started. There wasn't going to be any jet lag. So, you know, the playoffs for us, I said we missed the playoffs once in the last 10 years, and that one year we missed, we were on the Friday rotation. But it seems like our division has constantly been on the Saturday rotation, and it's different. You know, it's odd, especially with the pandemic going on. An additional day is just another day of anxiety, worrying that something's going to go wrong. But it does give you an extra day to practice. It's a longer week. We have to adjust our schedule to it. So the kids aren't used to Saturday night games, but this will be our second one here. You know, hopefully they're much more prepared with it.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't mean for you to age a little bit when I said tonight, okay? I was just testing you. No, I just screwed up. I just screwed up. You know. But I'm glad we clarified
it's close
that.
enough to kickoff now. We're on edge.
You're awake now, right? You're awake now after that.
You got my attention.
All right. How do you go about beating the Warriors? Give me 1 or 2 keys.
You know, got to find a way to have more points than them at the end because they're going to score a lot of points. And you know, I think you can ride an emotional roller coaster in the playoffs. You're going to play really good people that can make plays. And so we've got to have the right mental state to us throughout the 4 quarters. And we've got to find a way to score points. You know, we got to get out there and get the chess match going to find out, you know, what we may or may not be able to do, and then execute it because they're a potent offense that you know, thinking you're going to shut them out unrealistic. So we've got to make some plays.
Yeah, rent a movie out, Warriors, or you can find it somewhere on Netflix or whatever they call it. It's a pretty cool movie.
I'm going to have to check it out. You might have just made my Friday evening plans for me.
And then when you see the ending where the bad guys, you know, they are forcing the good guys to the ocean or whatever, you hear the bad guy clicking the bottles, Warriors, come out and play, yay. That's what you're going to be telling me down the road. You're going to sing that part, okay?
I got you, man.
If not, I'll ask your brother to sing. He always told me, anytime you need me, Bill, call me.
Yeah, he would definitely be the guy to pick for that job, not me.
Oh, you're putting pressure on him. Okay. Hey, Coach, good luck tomorrow, okay, against the Warriors.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Hey, thanks a lot, Bill. We appreciate it, bud.
Oh, we appreciate you finding time for us. Thank you, Coach.
All right, come on.
That's one of my favorite movies. You know what was cool about that movie? You know, back then there were gangs. Of course, you got gangs today. But the gangs used their fists. They used baseball bats, okay? They used knives. Today, you just get shot, it seems, you know?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Steubenville and Ferry, is this a playoff game or not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay. Don't call the school guys. I didn't know.
Is Biff over there? No. I'm pretty sure it's not. Because Steubenville just wanted to get a game after losing last week.
Oh,
they were
see.
out of the playoffs or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the same thing. Because Martins Ferry's Ohio, right?
Well, yeah.
Steubenville's Ohio, so I'm thinking, but Reno made it clear. They wanted, even whatever happens this week, he still wants to play a game next week, you know?
Well, it goes, I think they're still kind of playing for the OVAC championship. I don't know. But yeah, I just told somebody called, and I said, it's the playoffs. And he goes, well, I thought Steubenville lost last week.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know how they're doing it. Seriously, it is 2020. Nobody knows what's going on. And
just like in
so
Washington.
he was going to call and ask the school. I hope he didn't, that he waited until, we got talking about it. But sorry, I'm sorry.
We're going to go to Morgantown after we take this break, and we're going to talk West Virginia Mountaineers football. They will play Texas Tech, and it's homecoming for Tech, and they're going to have about 16,000 fans there. I get nervous when WVU plays on the road, okay? And Texas Tech, they're not supposed to be very good, but that doesn't matter, especially when you're at home. You know, the visiting team has to travel half a day, it seems, and it's homecoming. So we'll have to wait and see. And Kyle Wiggs will give us an update on Texas Tech right after this.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
How do you give hope to a child in the foster care system? It starts with your heart. That tug you feel in yours when you hear that children are waiting for a stable, loving voice to speak up for their best interests. And then it becomes your time. What started out as a feeling that maybe you could make a difference becomes the difference. Change a child's story. There is a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
For all of your IT needs, visit omniperforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Oh, there's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
WKKX and WVLY voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook. Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-TALK.
I can make anybody pretty. I can make you believe any lie. I can make you pick a fight with somebody twice your size. Well, I've been known to cause a few breakups, and I've been known to cause a few births. I can make you new friends or get you fired from work.
And we're back. Best time for me to get a hold of Kyle Wiggs is when he's shopping. I guess he's shopping again. Here's what I need. I don't know if you're in the store or out the store. I need some apples, bananas, and cherries, okay?
I'm out.
Oh, you're out? Yeah. All right. I'll give you a list next week. Do you do your own shopping list? Or
No, my wife does the shopping list.
Okay, but you do the shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. Use coupons at all?
Yeah, when I can, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm a coupon guy. All right, Cal. According to my sources here, and it seems like it changes, the West Virginia Mountaineers are favored by 3. Okay? They're the road team. I get the heebie-jeebies when they play on the road. Should I be nervous about this game with Texas Tech? Because Tech's not very good, but they got a homecoming game. They're going to have, about 15,000 fans. Should Mountaineer fans be nervous?
Well, you're right. They're not very good. But, again, it's the road, and that's a long trip, man. That's 1,400 miles out there. So, it's gone both ways for West Virginia and Texas Tech. Remember back in 2012 when West Virginia was ranked in the top 5, they had come off a victory over Texas. They were undefeated at the time, went to Texas Tech and absolutely got walloped. Got crushed. And that was Seth Deggy, was the Texas Tech quarterback then. His brother, Jared Deggy, is WVU's quarterback now. So there's a little tie in there. So they lost that game, but they've won 3 in a row at Texas Tech. So,
they got a little streak going. And you're right, Tech isn't very good. Defensively, they're one of the worst teams, certainly in the Big 12 and maybe in the country. I mean, they've had some games where they've been absolutely destroyed in the secondary. Teams have thrown the ball at will. And, you know, West Virginia's developed a little balance on offense. They didn't have that last year. They couldn't run it. In fact, here's another stat for you. Letty Brown, all of last year, actually the Mountaineers as a team, an entire team through 12 games, they didn't rush for 800 yards. And Letty Brown can surpass that total by himself through 5 games if he has a good game on Saturday. So, you know, again, Letty Brown through 5 games can rush for more yardage than the Mountaineers as a team had the entire season last year. So the ground game is much improved, and it's given them balance on offense they didn't have last year.
When West Virginia was ranked in the top 5 a few years ago, and the Red Raiders upset them, was Tech good, or they just?
Yeah, they would be. I mean, that's, you know, Cliff Kingsbury was there, and again they had a quarterback. I mean, they weren't. That should have never happened. But, I mean, they were good enough to beat West Virginia that day. I mean, that was the West Virginia team with Geno Smith and Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey, and that loss derailed the whole season. I mean, they went from unbeaten and in the top 5 in the country. I mean, that sent them into a tailspin. So, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think West Virginia, again, if they continue to run the ball well, and statistically, defensively, they're number 1 in the Big 12. I mean, they're just playing phenomenally well defensively, and they've got some pros defensively. I don't know if you saw the play that Darius Stills made last week on the interception downfield where he dove parallel to the turf and picked that out of the air. I mean, that was incredible. He's playing at a high level. And Tony Fields, the linebacker who is a grad transfer from Arizona, he's on his way to the NFL. He's playing at a high level. And Tyke Smith in the back end is playing as well as anybody in the conference, you know, kind of at that spear defensive back position. So, you know, it looks good. They're playing well, both sides of the ball. Tech struggling. This is one West Virginia should go and win.
You know, this is the problem I have with West Virginia in the Big 12. Of course, I'd like to see them in the ACC, but that won't happen. The travel.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be a killer. What's their closest rival? 800 miles? 900 miles?
Actually, the closest Big 12 team to Morgantown is Iowa State.
Oh.
And I think it's 840 miles.
Yeah.
And then the longest trip is Lubbock, Texas. You know, that's a long trip for other teams in the Big 12, right?
Yeah.
Lubbock, Texas, it's 1,400 miles for West Virginia. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been there.
No.
West Texas, Lubbock, Texas. It's closer to Albuquerque, New Mexico than it is to Dallas.
I've been to Aggie Land, Texas A&M. I've been at that stadium. That's pretty far back.
So you're right. It's a long way. And, you know, this conference has never been a geographical fit.
No.
But we all know what happened. There's no need to replow that ground.
Yeah, but imagine if they're in the ACC. You get to play Syracuse, travelable. Pitt, travelable. Virginia Tech, you know, the school's located in no man's land. I don't know if you've ever been there. I mentioned Syracuse. North Carolina, Virginia, that would have been just a great road trip for any of the teams that I just mentioned, you know?
No, I hear you. I mean, they didn't want West Virginia. That was the bottom line. The more academic-minded schools in that conference for whatever reason, didn't want West Virginia. You know, they said Louisville ended up taking that place. That probably, you're right, probably should have gone to West Virginia, but it is what it is now. It's a non-geographical fit. Hopefully, with all that everybody's gone through the last year with this pandemic, hopefully it'll cause people to rethink things, and you know, maybe there will be a reshuffling of the cards, and West Virginia will end up back closer to home in the ACC. I don't have any authority that told me that.
Wasn't Coach K and Duke one of the people that didn't want West Virginia in the ACC?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if it was the coaches. I think it was more so the academics.
Yeah, the academics. North Carolina too.
But
so.
it was the Dukes, and it was
North Carolina.
those schools that didn't want anything to do with West Virginia, which, you know, really is a shame, because West Virginia's got this is a small state. People graduate from this college and they move away and take jobs in all of North Carolina. My goodness, there's thousands of West Virginia transplants and WVU graduates in Charlotte alone, much less the entire state of North Carolina, and Virginia the same way. So
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find me a 1982 DeLorean. Then I'm going to go back to the future, and we're going to go back to the Big East. How's that?
Oh, that'd be wonderful. That was so much fun.
Oh.
It really was.
Oh, yeah. I remember going to Morgantown to watch Penn State in West Virginia, Pitt in West Virginia playing Pitt at Pitt Stadium, and, West Virginia playing at Penn State. That was so good. And even the West Virginia-Syracuse rivalry was cool,
To Penn State's credit, it was Paterno and Penn State that wanted to form a league with all those Eastern independents back in the late 80s and early 90s before the Big East Conference even. He wanted all those at the time they were all Eastern independents. He wanted them to get together and form a league, and it would have been perfect, and it never happened. And of course, Penn State went the Big Ten route, and the Big East formed, and then it imploded. It's really a shame.
Do you remember the Eastern Eight?
I wasn't around for it, but yeah, I remember it.
That was a very good conference, It was loaded, especially when Georgetown was in it, but whatever. Can't look back. We can look ahead. So hopefully, in about, what time does that game start?
It's a weird start time. It starts at 5:30 tomorrow.
5:30. So hopefully by about 9 o'clock, we can put a W in the West Virginia column. How's that?
Yeah, and get back home. Get that trip out of the way and get back home with a win. And the next one next week's back home against Kansas State at noon.
Okay, one last question. It's a quickie. Who do you like in the World Series? Who do you want to win?
I want Tampa to win bad.
Yeah, you're not a Dodger guy, I can tell.
No.
All right, thank you, man.
All right.
I'll give you a shopping list next Friday, okay?
Well, I only go every other week.
Okay, I'll remember that. Thank you. There's a lot of people who don't like the Dodgers. I can understand that too. Yeah. All that payroll, they're going up against a small market team. Nothing small market about AM 1600 because we're community minded. We do a lot of sports. We do a lot of news. We get into the political wars. And, we're here for you. And I'll be here for another 27 minutes or so. But right now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Bobby, the legend.
Are you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income? Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
West Virginia 211 makes a difference in the lives of thousands of West Virginians every year. Do you need help paying utility bills, finding housing, buying food, accessing job training, navigating veteran services, or dealing with an emergency or crisis? Call West Virginia 211 today to speak with one of our specialists. We'll make sure that you've got a plan and put you in touch with the right resources. Dial 211. West Virginia 211 is a program of the United Ways of West Virginia.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Now until sold out. Get $10,000 off any new 2020 Cherokee. Only at Thomas Auto Centers during Jeep Adventure Days. Must be in stock, and it comes with a lifetime warranty. No tricks, no gimmicks. $10,000 off on any new 2020 Cherokee. Plus unheard of pricing on all new in-stock units. Only at Thomas Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Get the best deal. Thomas Auto Centers.
Mall Road, St. Clairsville.
That's one set of rules for you.
That's not fair.
And a different set of rules for me.
State Senator Mike Maroney. He has a completely different set of rules for himself. In his first term, Mike Maroney missed more than 400 votes. Missed votes on taxes, roads, and protecting children from abuse. You paid Mike Maroney out of our tax dollars, and he didn't show up for work 400 times. And last year, Maroney was arrested for soliciting prostitution. Do you think you could keep your job if you didn't show up for work and were facing criminal charges? This election in Senate District 2, you can hold Mike Maroney accountable for his 400 missed votes and criminal charges. Whether you vote early or by mail or on Election Day, vote against politician Mike Maroney. Paid for by Mountain State Values, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Throughout the Ohio Valley, back to school is looking different. Each day, parents, teachers, students, coaches, and administrators are finding solutions to situations that are unprecedented. All of us at the Highlands appreciate everything you are doing and are here for the items you need. Visit hitthehighlands.com for the current guidelines and updated contact information of our retailers and restaurants.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. A domestic dispute between an elderly couple in Kanawha County leads to gunfire. Now one of them is dead and the other injured. Sheriff Mike Rutherford said the 89-year-old man was shot and killed about 1:40 this morning in a home in the Oakview community. His 85-year-old wife fired that fatal shot, telling investigators it happened during a domestic dispute, and she did have visible wounds to her arm. So far, no charges are filed. In Roane County, a deputy is on administrative leave after a shooting death of a suspect. That happened overnight in the Kettle Road area near the Kanawha County line. The state police are investigating there. The top man at the Charleston Area Medical Center says the state's RT value continues trending upward. And David Ramsey, who's CEO at CAMC, says while it's still among the lowest in the country, he and other hospital officials believe a second wave of COVID-19 is coming.
We're thinking and preparing that it's going to get worse. As the virus spreads in the community, then generally it's older people get it and end up in the hospital.
Ramsey said the hospital has about 35 COVID-19 patients today. That is down from the more than 80 in the middle of September. There are, however, 63 employees who are also still off work at the hospital due to COVID-19. Ramsey said a few weeks ago that number was 240. Today's rate of spread in West Virginia is 3.85%, and 193 are in the hospital. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Kanawha County Judge Kerry Webster is slated to hear arguments this hour in regard to a lawsuit filed with the West Virginia Education Association, the teachers union filing that suit to challenge the methodology used to come up with the colors on the statewide color-coded alert map that dictates school each week. President Dale Lee says people he represents are being put at risk because the data is being manipulated.
We believe people are put in a situation that is not conducive to the most healthy situation.
From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
And here he goes. West Virginia football. He's going to go all the way in. Touchdown. Lives here.
And here we go. A home run ball deep downfield. And he makes the catch. Right up the middle he goes. He's on his way. It's a foot race. He's going to score. 15, 10-foot end zone. Touchdown. West Virginia.
Tune in Saturday when the Mountaineers hit the road to face Texas Tech. Only on your home for Mountaineer football.
A watchdog.
Oh, well, I'm the type of guy who will never settle down. Where pretty girls are, well, you know that I'm around. I kiss them and I love them, cause to me they're all the same. I hug them and I squeeze them, they don't even know my name. They call me the Wanderer, yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Oh, well, let's blow on my left
Well, I've been kicked in the face all afternoon. Two of my guests are Yankee fans. Biff Leonard is a big-time Notre Dame fan. And I know that our next guest, the legend, is a big Notre Dame fan. I really hated to have him talk about Notre Dame and Pitt, but that's my job because I think it's a pretty good matchup. How you doing, Bob?
Wonderful. I gathered up a lot of ammunition because I knew you'd be firing at me.
Oh,
How's
yeah.
our girl Lola doing?
She's fine. She's fine. She can't wait for me to end the show at 2. No, I mean at 3. But she's doing good. I think her Michigan team's playing. Who's Michigan playing, Lola? Minnesota.
Yeah.
They're at Minnesota. Michigan's 3-point favorite. Okay, I've seen in the last couple of days different numbers. First I saw 10.5, then I saw 8, and this morning I see Notre Dame favored by 9.5 over Pittsburgh. But I do remember Pittsburgh has had Notre Dame's number a couple of times in the past 10 years.
That is correct. As a matter of fact, it started out at 7.5. It's up to 10 in some stores. I'm figuring that maybe Pickett's not playing again.
I guess he's not. Let me see. I got the Pittsburgh paper right here. A thinking man's quarterback, and it looks like it's Yellen, Joey Yellen. So Narduzzi has not said anything yet, but he said that Yellen has had a good week. So I think he's going to be the starter.
Since you did mention that, in the last 5 games, against the spread at Pitt, Notre Dame's teams are 1-4. But I'll give you some credit here. Pitt has the top run defense, 61.5 yards a game. But I'm going to give you some bad news right now.
Okay.
Well, in the last 9 games against the spread, Pitt is 1-7-1, and visiting teams at Heinz Field in the last 11 games are 8-2-1. Wow. With that in mind, I sound like the guy with the bag over his head. Remember him?
Yeah.
Coors beer salesman.
Yeah.
23-10, Fighting Irish.
Yeah, but you know what? Pitt's got to be pumped up because, they always seem to play well against Notre Dame. Plus, they've lost 3 in a row, So I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Book still the quarterback for Notre Dame?
He is still a quarterback.
All right. Why didn't they hold on to that kid from our area, and now he's playing for BC? Because he wasn't getting enough play?
Yeah, he's setting all kind of records, too.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a Notre Damer forever. You hardly ever see people leave Notre Dame, right?
You know what? Between me and you,
okay.
I don't know what it is, but when you watch Pitt, do they put you to sleep? Are they the most boring team in the NCAA?
One of them, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. I get to watch the game on a small screen TV that we have by the security area. So, but yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's the same old Pitt. They'll either start off good or win 3 or 4 in a row. Then they end up 7-5. Well, we got to like all young players. Oh, that's Pat Narduzzi. Okay, game number 2. There might be 3 Penn State fans here in the Ohio Valley, but it's their first game, as is most of those Big Ten teams. Penn State and Indiana. Penn State should crush them, right? But I recall Indiana in the past has upset the Nittany Lions.
Like the Pitt Notre Dame line, the line was 7.5, and it went to 5.5. But with the gambling process, I tell you what, you haven't seen teams play yet in the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. Penn State lost a lot of players because of this virus, and they're not playing.
Yep.
But Indiana has some key players. They have a quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver. But not seeing them play, I like the under in this game. I like under 58.
Let's go to the pros. We'll save the best for last, Pitt and Tennessee. Let's go Arizona and Seattle, all right? Seattle favored by 3 on the road to Houston. Not
on
Houston,
the road to Arizona.
Yeah.
You know what? I think this is the best matchup next to the Pittsburgh Tennessee game. This is a great game. I'm glad they switched this to 8:20. Arizona's coming off a short week. They played Dallas Monday night. Seattle is coming off a bye week. Seattle's defense ranks dead last in yards allowed, 471 yards per game. and 370 of those yards are passing. Now, Seattle is 10-2 straight up in their last 12 road games. I like both quarterbacks. That should be fun to watch with both of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That Kyler Murray is
Good.
something else. He looked great Monday night.
With
that in mind, I like Arizona to win the game, 27-21.
I don't know what's going through Seattle's mind, especially some of those players on there. That's a tight-knit group. You know, Wilson's the leader. Why would you want Antonio Brown on your team? Why? It's bad enough with COVID-19. Why do you want cancer in your locker room? Unless he's a changed man. I don't know.
You got both of those players resurfaced, and you have Le'Veon Bell and you got Antonio Brown. Why would anybody want these players?
Well, I could understand the Chiefs. Bell brings another dimension, but, you know, I don't want him in the locker room. But I don't know. Andy Reid, Carroll, you know, Carroll's a player's coach, so who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's good for football. I don't know. But I'm tired. I just thought, you know, every day there was an AB story. Now, if he comes back after next week, you know, AB's going to be doing something.
And Des Bryant's creeping in, too.
Yeah, the Ravens want him, or he's going to work out for the Ravens. Why would the Ravens want cancer? I don't know.
Well,
Des Bryant. Last time Des Bryant played, I had hair on my head. You know?
Do you remember that? Do you remember the catch or the non-catch? Was it the playoff game, Green Bay and Dallas?
Yes, yes.
I still say that was a catch.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We saved the best for last. I have 24-20 Steelers. John Burton, who used to work at the Fan and Channel 4 in Pittsburgh, is now big-time TV sportscaster in the state of Tennessee. He likes the Steelers 23-20. Who do you like and why?
Okay. The Steelers covered 6 of their last 7 road games. But Tennessee's defense is horrible. It's given up 30 points a game.
Yep, they stink.
And their big Pro Bowl tackles out, too. Is it Lewin?
Yeah, Lewin. Left tackle, yep.
Okay, but I'm going to hit you here with a little scenario. The quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, this week marks 1 year that he's taken over quarterback for the Titans.
What's his record?
He is 12-3.
Woo.
With that in mind, I like Tennessee 27-24.
I guess you can bet on anything. Well, I think the team is 16-1 if Derrick Henry records 100 or more yards in a game. That's an unbelievable stat. And what did he have last week? 248?
Is that amazing when he breaks loose, when he gets away from a defender, how quick and how fast he is?
Yep. I used to be that quick. Did you know that? When somebody's chasing me.
You still are. You're a Hall of Famer. You're always quick with me.
Yeah, we're getting old, and I don't want to talk about that. But, yeah, you know what? I got you. So you're picking the Steelers? Did you give me a score?
No, I'll pick 27-24 Tennessee.
Okay, I got you, myself, and Burton. I know you follow the Steeler guys in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. We had Ray Fittipaldo on, and he has Tennessee winning 33-23. I don't know if I like that. That's a little bit high scoring. But if the Steelers can stop Henry, who knows? I don't know. But Devin Bush, big injury, big time injury. Go ahead.
I got some props here. College props. If Lola got her ink pen ready. It's a dog-eat-dog world for college, the College Board this week. Unbelievable. There's unbelievable games. Tulane, Navy, Cincinnati, and TCU are all dogs, and they're great teams. And there's one other game. Georgia Southern's playing Coastal Carolina at 12 o'clock tomorrow. It'll probably be on ESPN. That game those two teams could beat probably 5 of the top 25. That's how good these teams are. And I would throw your Thundering Herd in there, too. I would throw Marshall in there with them.
Okay.
Because Marshall's that good, too.
Yep. There's some good teams you don't even hear of, but yeah. It's good to see the Big Ten play now. You know what I mean? Penn State, Michigan State, Lola's Michigan team. It's good that they're playing football, you know. Hopefully it won't be a lot of injuries because those kids really haven't had heavy-duty contact other than practice sessions.
When's the Pac-10 going to start?
Isn't that the Pac-10, Ohio State, or is that 12?
No,
Big Ten.
sorry.
Big Ten.
West Coast.
Big Ten.
Big Ten, I'm sorry.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the West Coast. I don't know. I don't know if you were there, but I was. I was even at the Naval Academy in '76 because Pitt was unbeaten. They went to play a pretty good Navy team. I think they were ranked in the top 25. Tony Dorsett rushed for 180 yards, legend. 45-0 Pitt rout over Navy, and Dorsett became the top career rusher in NCAA history with 5,200 yards.
Navy had a freshman quarterback at the time from Beaver, PA, that I played against in high school, Bobby Pyers.
I didn't know that. What high school did you play at?
Stowe Rocks.
Okay, all right. 1988. I think this was Pitt's. No. Oh no, he was with the Dolphins. A Pitt great, Danny Marino, in 1988 on this date, passes for 521 yards, 5 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. The Dolphins lose to the Jets 44-30. Now back then the Jets were decent, you know. Marino completed 35 of 60 as he produced the second best single game total yardage in NFL history.
Who was he running away from? Joe Klecko or Mark Gastineau?
Which is the one that kicked Terry Bradshaw in the head? Joe Klecko.
Klecko?
Yeah, because I was there. It was the last game at Shea Stadium between the Jets and the Steelers. And I remember there were like miniature jails or whatever with policemen with the obnoxious fans there. And I was in the Jets locker room. It wasn't me. It might have been John Clayton. How did you feel about kicking Terry Bradshaw in the head? And Klecko said, and I'm quoting him, "I'd do it again." He was nuts, but I liked him. A big star from Temple, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Gastineau was like a Hollywood type of guy.
Hollywood, and then he ended up being a boxer.
That's right. Yep, that's right. All right, I got a football note involving my neighborhood school, Washington and Jefferson College. You ready?
I'm ready.
Back in 1914, I don't know if you could bet back then, the presidents of W&J College upset Yale, ranked in the top 10, 16-7 at the Yale Bowl in New Haven, Connecticut. How about that?
Wow.
And W&J played to a 0-0 tie against, I think, California in the 1920 Rose Bowl.
You got all kind of great words of wisdom today.
Yeah, words of wisdom. W-O-W, huh? Wow. Ooh. All right, I'm going to ask you this. I know you didn't plan for it, but should the Rays be favored tonight with Charlie Morton? Because I think if he wins tonight, that's 8 postseason wins.
They should be, but here's what I'm thinking. When he pitched in the National League, he pitched against the Dodgers. He pitched for the Pirates, pitched for the Phillies, he pitched for the Astros. So you never know if the Dodgers have an advantage.
Yep. You're not a Dodger fan, right?
I'm not.
I love Mookie Betts. I still think the billionaire owner who owns soccer teams, the Boston Globe, radio stations, I think he could have paid Mookie Betts. I think Mookie wanted to stay in L.A., but we all know that money talks.
Boston.
Yep. They could have stayed in Boston, but whatever. David Ortiz said the other day, if I was in a position, I would have given Mookie a lot of my salary. He's still getting paid, I think, for another year or two. So, but there you had David Ortiz basically saying the Red Sox made a mistake. Now they got a couple of young kids. You don't know if they're going to develop. But Mookie Betts, you know, he's made a transition, a good one, going to the L.A. Dodgers, a team that's loaded. But then you have that $28 million team called the Rays, you know, in the World Series, which is a great story. Their payroll's the 3rd lowest in the league. And look at them. The Dodgers are number 1. And I hope the Rays kick some butt.
They're on their way.
All right.
I'm rooting I'm rooting for them.
Okay, you going to be watching your Notre Dame team tomorrow?
I am going to be watching my Notre Dame team. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there because duty calls.
Okay.
So.
You mean you couldn't get tickets? You're the legend.
Yeah,
You could have got tickets.
I could.
A friend of mine in
Yeah.
Philadelphia just paid $700 to a scalper for 2 tickets. Maybe that's not bad, $350 each.
That doesn't sound that bad.
No. All right, we'll talk next week.
I'll be looking forward to it.
All right.
Have a great week. Enjoy your football weekend.
Okay, I'm going to make you mad. Go Pitt.
Go Irish. Have a great day.
I'm a Mountaineer fan now since we carried our games. I jump on that wagon. You know what I mean? All right. Thank you, man, for all your homework, your insight. You come up with some unbelievable numbers. I know you work hard at it. That's why you give me hell when I don't call you on Wednesday, because you need to know, Bill, what teams do I need to do my homework on? And you still owe me a dinner. And I still have that Air Parsegian signed autograph with, what was his name?
Tommy Clements.
Tommy Clements, yep.
Keys Rock's own.
I didn't know you played football at Stowe Rocks. They used to put out some good players, not named you,
Yeah.
right?
Gentleman I played with the year before, Chuck Bucina.
He went to Penn State, right?
He went to Penn State, played for Tampa Bay, Green Bay. He played with Montana and Steve Young at San Francisco, and Philadelphia Stars, USFL.
Boy, you ought to be in my job. I like to drop names. You drop some heavy-duty names. I just wanted to know who the hell the quarterback was, and you're telling me his history.
You know who else was in my schoolyard?
You're going to tell me.
John Kasich, presidential candidate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow. Maybe you should write a book.
And Tommy Clements, of course.
Tommy Clements, yeah. Who at one time was the quarterback coach for the Steelers, right?
Green Bay Packers. He taught tutored Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre.
Okay, that's enough history. That's enough. That's enough, legend. You're making me mad.
Have a great day.
But you're the best, and you're the wanderer. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The one thing, and I've known this guy, 35 years? I should have known he was going to give me the bio of Chuck Fucina, but I didn't know that he played football at Stowe Rocks. I think he was a guard. I'm not sure. All right. That was a long time ago. But I remember Fucina was a pretty good football player. I didn't know he played for all those teams. And Tommy Clements, I remember talking to him about the quarterback situation with the Steelers because he was the QB coach. So. All right, that about sums it up. All of you out there, thank you for listening. We appreciate your ears. We appreciate your time. We're here to be informative, and we try to do our best. If not, we keep on trying. Lola, have a good weekend. I'm Bill DeFabio. The walkthrough is next on AM 1600, The Watchdog.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY.